What's the worst that can happen?
Okay, we're streaming. Man, that quick. About 7 minutes ago, Kim says, let's do a live. We were just getting home from the grocery store. She goes, let's do a live. I go, what? She goes, here's a picture to put up. Okay. And she came up here. I put a picture up.
You'll have to pardon me. I look like hell.
Man, I took a shower and shaved like 12 hours ago, and I always get all gussied up before I get on camera. Oh, man. Look who's here. Well, Kim, you can.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kim of Kim Fixes Things.
Easy on me.
I took him to the chiropractor today to get an adjustment, and then they did some kind of needle stimulation in his neck.
Oh,
they
stuck needles in my neck.
So nervous. So nervous. I felt bad for him. He was really, really, really concerned that they were going to stick needles in his neck, and he pulled through it really well.
It was a non-event.
He was a full-on adult about his fear and walked right through it, and he's been in a good mood since that because it's over.
I had about an hour of physical therapy, and then the injections. I was really nervous, but I shouldn't have been nervous. I won't ever be nervous for that again. Man.
Olive got ads for Granger and YouTube TV. So you get 2 points for calling out your ads. We've been doing this now with the points.
Ads already? I don't get what they've done. They have changed some things about the ads. It looks like one of the things they've done is just hit you right off as soon as the live starts. Wow.
A whole bunch of people come in right away. That's awesome.
Oh, and we just put it up like I said, like 7 minutes ago.
Moments ago. It was a surprise stream.
Usually I put it up like hours.
It was a surprise to him. It was a little bit of a surprise to me. I was like, "Do you want to stream?" And he was like, "I don't know. It's pretty late." It's like, actually, we start at 10 a lot. And he's like, "Well, it's 5 minutes still." I said, I'll get you a picture. It was a little different of a picture. I grabbed it from No Name Nationals last year.
Okay, I'll get Lester LeSabre. I'll get to you. And Edward. Hello.
Hi, Edward.
I thought Steve Edwards, and I see Edward, and I go, wait a minute, that's two different people. Steve Edwards, I want to say hi. And then
welcome to the stream. I want to say hi to everybody. Johnny C was here first.
I'm going to let Tim do that.
You get 3 points. Congratulations, Johnny C, for jumping in right the heck away. Olive, you get 2 for being second. Lester LeSabre, I'm going to give you 2 for being third. Crash Road Runner Garage, and anybody else who can hear my voice, you get a point for being here already for a surprise stream tonight. Thanks, everybody, for stopping in. We had such good productivity last night. We got a ton of stuff done yesterday.
We came up here. We didn't stream, but, man, we got a lot done.
We put the brake system back together.
How hard is it to get that other camera going?
Oh, it's not hard. It won't take long.
Okay, so we can do that sometime in the next half hour or so. Show what we did do, because I feel really good about it. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot. You know the top for the master cylinder? I forgot to look that up.
You know what? I was looking, and I can find complete master cylinders for $40, but I couldn't find any lids. Okay. And I can find a rubber part for the lid, and they're $25 just for the rubber.
Okay, so we'll pull the rubber's good. We'll pull the rubber out, and then we'll sand the hell out of that thing. You know what we'll do? We'll put some of that
black stuff on it.
That rust killer paint on it, and then just paint it something. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Okay, let's see here. Oh, says I don't have problem with needles, but a chiropractor must have very solid. You know what? I was always told never go to a chiropractor and all this. They're they don't know what they're doing, because I was always in families that had all these medical people. But I've made a wrong turn, and I've been having a lot of trouble, and the doctors don't want to do anything. And I've made a wrong turn and saw this sign. It said spine and neck injuries or something. So I made an appointment there and went in there. Now, I didn't even realize it was a chiropractor. They have a chiropractor there. They have a huge place for physical therapy, and he's moved me around a little bit, but not a lot. Most of what they've done is the physical therapy and some x-rays, and they had the needles they did it in this shoulder, because this is the shoulder that has the problems, and the needles have what is the painkiller? The
Lidocaine?
lidocaine. So what they're doing, I guess, is they're
Why
going
didn't they use Truth-Decane? Why'd they have to use the
lidocaine
lidocaine?
instead of Truth-Decane. So they can you fix my box up there that says Select Stream on it?
Yeah, it was
Because I
working a
can't.
minute ago.
Because I can't. Yeah, but once you go live, you got to do it again.
It wasn't working.
I don't know why it does that.
Go
Thank
back
you.
to your story.
So anyway, so they do an injection with lidocaine, but what they're really doing is they want to go. God, we got more ads
I'm skipping
coming in.
it this time. It's too
Good.
early to
Okay,
start
thank
the
you.
ads.
She skipped the ads.
Sorry, people who wanted points. We're skipping the ads this time. We'll go back to it.
So they stick the needle in, and they do something to the muscle with the needle. They move around, and I guess the woman's pretty good at this. So the reason they use the lidocaine is to numb it a little bit. And he says, the doctor says, we can use saline if you don't want the lidocaine, but he goes, it's going to hurt like hell. And he goes, it's kind of like going to the dentist without getting numbed up first. And I said, all right. So I guess what they're really doing is going into the muscle and doing something with the needle, moving the muscle around somehow. And she did it in 4 points. And it was a non-event. And I'm actually feeling better. I didn't sleep very well. And when I came home, I slept for a couple hours this afternoon. And usually I wake up with all this pain in my hand and everything. I had a little bit of numbness, which I almost always have. But there was no pain in my hand. So I don't know. Maybe it did something. I don't know. So.
And they did physical therapy. They didn't just jab him with needles.
There was a good hour of physical therapy.
And he needs it to get back moving again. Because he was really stagnant this winter.
Well, and I do have some neck injuries from this crash. And so I learned a lot. And they gave me an ice. They didn't give it to me. I bought an ice pack that they wanted me to buy. And I've got a neck brace I have to wear. I mean, it's a pretty complicated thing that holds my neck just so. And it's got an ice pack in it. And
that's like a traction device.
It's like a traction device. And I have to do that for a half hour every night. And then last night we got out of here so late I forgot. Whoops. so
I'll read some. Let me read some comments so we don't get too far away.
So anyway, that's the story.
You already answered Lester the Saber what kind of doctor that did the needles. Olive said, I didn't have a problem with needles, but a chiropractor must have a very solid reputation before they get near me. I agree with that. He took it on faith this time, and it seems to be working out. I mean, they have a reputable office and everything like that. It's not like they're a complete nobody. Johnny C says, I always dread dental visits. Such a relief when done. Oh, man. Knowing that you have to, last time I broke a tooth in half, I cried, not because it hurt, but because I knew I had to go to the dentist, because it's awful. Edward's been busy doing lawn care. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. He must be in a different time zone.
Hopefully in a different time zone. Got headlights on his lawn machine. Oh, I do. I have that.
You do, but
but I don't usually go mowing.
The neighbors might not appreciate us mowing after dark. Cairo diverts to acupuncture sometime. I don't know if what they did was considered acupuncture. I'm not sure exactly where that line crosses.
Not
I don't think so. Edward says, I'm trying to get my S10, trying to get my race S10 going again. Been ages since I've had it at the track and cannot wait to see it run this season. That sounds like a lot of fun. What kind of motor do you have in an S10 to take to the racetrack? There's lots of options for an S10.
S10 seem to be kind of a favorite with drag racing.
It's a really easy platform. There's plenty of room. They're light. Good rigid full frame vehicle. Olive says some chiropractors are very good, some are hacks. I mean, there's no excuse for them not to be good. There's lots of good training that chiropractic, universally accepted training that chiropractors can get. So, but, it's with anything. Some people are good at it and some people just are hacks. Lester LeSabre says his wife loves chiropractors. Okay. There you go. That's a shining
You
endorsement.
know,
Lester LeSaber's wife says chiropractors are
I
fantastic.
never thought I'd go to a chiropractor, but they have a chiropractor in the office, and I seem to be trusting the guy, and seems to know what he's doing, and most of what I'm getting is not chiropractic; it's physical therapy, and then whatever they did to the muscles in my neck.
Lester LeSaber says, my few experiences have been mostly bad, but my back is really bad. My back is bad as well. So my experience has been is it sucks having a bad back, and the people I go to try and I get marginal effect. But they're trying. But then again, I've talked to like the surgeons and the radio, like the people who do the imaging and stuff like that, and the people at the pain clinic. They're like, oh, ooh, that's pretty bad, hon. What happened to you? And I tell them the story, and they're like, oh, well, we can try this and that. They don't go in making big promises. Actually, the last time I went in, they had some pretty wild promises, and it was complete. It went really bad. It was horrible. So, yeah, back pain is really awful. Olive says she used to know a great shiatsu guy. I swore by that. That sounds good. He would do well with massage because he carries a lot of tension in his shoulders, and I think a good massage would go maybe in between.
You know how this is always all knotted up back there? When she got done with that, that's what she went after. She felt it, and then she took a pen, like a ballpoint pen that's closed, and she's poking, and she goes like here and here, here, and she found the places where the muscles are real tight and everything, and that's what she went after, and it's amazing how good I feel right now. Of course, the lidocaine wore up a long time ago. Probably a couple hours afterwards, it was all gone. But the lidocaine's there to ease the pain of the needle.
Edward says, I have nothing but good with my chiropractor. Only reason I'm still moving today. Glad to hear it. And depending on what kind of injury you have or what kind of pain you're experiencing, there can be a very wide range of outcomes. And depending on your chiropractor's skill and training, so I'm glad you found good care. That's awesome to hear. Uh, Edward is in Ohio and has been burning leaves. Be careful burning leaves because they have a tendency to float off. You can just be sure you're not going to start anything on fire burning leaves.
See, when I was in Ohio, I thought the guy that I was living there with was going to set the whole place on fire. But then the leaves are going all over, and there's trees up there, and I come from the Southwest. If you did that, the whole Southwest would be burned up. But everything's so soaking wet. Not that you can't set anything on fire.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is wet leaves smolder really bad, and they can be really awful. Depends on how much space you have between you and your neighbors, that kind of thing. Olive assumed about the needles. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I said, but he told the story. Now you understand. Edward has a small block Chevy 350 making 650 plus horsepower and spinning it to 8K RPM.
Whoa.
Nice. That sounds like a lot of fun at the track.
Sounds like a good small block.
I hope you're able to get it prepped and out there because it's way more fun to get it out and show it off a little bit.
Edward, are you going to No Name Nationals? I don't know. There's a lot of people in here, No Name Nationals people, but then there's a lot that aren't. I just don't know if you're one of that group because that's what we'll go to is No Name Nationals in September.
It's a little ways from Ohio, depending on where you are in Ohio, but it is a lot of fun. I know Ohio has I don't know how much car stuff you've done in Ohio, but there's lots of great car culture in Ohio.
Where are you in Ohio? I used to live in Ohio. That's why I asked.
He could probably go to a different car thing every weekend in the summertime in Ohio and have a ball with that truck.
If anybody is wondering what I'm drinking, Tang, my little packets of flavoring.
EFOG3 is here. Welcome to the stream, EFOG. There, I made it through all the comments. How you like that? I did a speed run on them comments. Get everybody. I didn't want to leave anybody out. We started a little bit late, and I don't have like high and mighty goals for tonight, but I thought let's do a little bit. Let's do something, right? A little bit. Poke more at your car.
I feel so much better than I did for two reasons. Just I was nervous about this whole needle thing and injections, and but I'm noticeably feeling better. So this is the best session I've had there yet. It's I just haven't. Edward says, I am trying, and so is my dad, Tim Jacobson. Oh, Indecisive Garage. Oh, okay.
Fantastic.
Well,
Okay.
cool. I know who you are. Okay, so I don't know who you are. I know who he is. Maybe I know who you are. What about
Do some burnout shorts with that truck, and you'll start collecting some. You'll start collecting some subs if you want to go. If that's what you want to do. Not everybody wants to make a YouTube channel and drive to Sykeston, but it's a fun place to go.
Oh, it's this whole group and more people like this. A whole lot of people like this, and it is just a fun place. It's like a in-person live show.
But it's a trek out there. It's
And
like
all
5 hours for us, or
all the
4
peop-
hours for us.
All the people, yeah, it's 3.5 hours for us. All the people you see on screen, you're standing right there with them and working. Oh, did anybody see the thumbnail and understand who that was? You handed me that thumbnail. I didn't know what it was, and then made a quick thumbnail out of the picture.
Oh, that was One-Eyed Cat.
Yeah.
That was his road toad.
That's One-Eyed Cat.
From No Name Nationals
That's
last year.
One-Eyed Cat putting fuel in his car.
I need a picture to get started because we didn't have a thumbnail prepared. So I just grabbed something out of a folder and clipped it down. Mexican Spec.
Mexican Spec. Good evening. Yeah, it's late for you. Sorry about that. You just came rolling in here. We got back from the grocery store, and I'm ready just to settle down. And Kim goes, I'm going up to the shop.
Nope, get to work.
And I go, you're going to the shop? And she says, yeah, let's do a live. Like, it's already 10 o'clock. So she gave me a picture and left. He went
to sleep this afternoon at like 3 in the afternoon and slept until like 8. I know he's not going to sleep. He's going to sit up all night watching YouTube. I said, no.
So by the time I got that thumbnail up, we had like 4 minutes to go. I hustled up here and we're live.
Patrick Solomon, welcome to the stream. We started a little bit late. You didn't miss much.
Yeah, you saw the road toad. Yeah, that's One-Eyed Cat's road toad.
You missed his story about going to the physical therapy and the chiropractor today to get shots in his neck. It wasn't all that, wasn't a super special story, but maybe he'll tell it again.
Kitsy Fluff's here.
Welcome to the stream.
Well, I'm not going to go through the whole story again, but I'll say this. I was nervous about injections in my neck. I'm not nervous about that anymore, and I feel way better. Man. I mean, I am feeling good. What's Kitsy Fluff says? Bed.
He says he's got to make some bread. He's got to go. No, bed.
Got to head to.
Welcome to the stream. Nobody has to stick around. We just.
Oh yeah. Well, thanks for stopping by.
We're in the shop. We decided to start the stream, and we'll just chit chat, make conversation. Tomorrow. We'll be streaming. We'll be doing our regular full length green screen kind of event like we do on Tuesday nights. So try and make that a thing you can do because that's a lot of fun. But this is just a shop stream. But if you don't show up for every stream, it goes on your permanent record.
Yeah, permanent record. She keeps a record of that. Oh, man. And Neurontics is here. Good evening.
Mexican Spec got to be up early to get the brakes done on the Fairmont.
Oh, hey. Before it gets too much, how hard is it to hook up that camera?
Not hard.
Then Mexican Spec can see it before he leaves.
All right, I'll get it turned on. I got plugged in.
Yeah, okay. So we came up here last night and worked for way too long, but we got a lot done. We got a lot done last night.
The right amount of long. It was the precise amount of longness.
Said it did. It worked for you. Did it complete itself? Are you talking about my neck?
No, something about autocomplete.
Oh.
Mexican Spec says he's having problems with the autocomplete. I don't know why. It's nothing we did. It might just be a YouTube problem. I'm not sure. I don't know why.
Teaching CNC machining feels both really slow and really fast at the same time. Today was teaching students how to use an edge finder to locate a part in the machine. Yeah, see, and when you started, you picked that stuff up right away. You just figured it out. And, you know, some people just figure stuff out. Some people, you got to kind of lead them through it. Most of my stuff will be connected to Indecisive Garage due to both my father and I have something, this S10 on the track. Videos of it will be posted there. Okay, yeah, okay, I'll be watching that. Kim's over there fussing with a really nice camera. 38 Racing's here. Good evening.
That nice, but it's okay.
Oh, he says just a hit and run. Yeah, we're kind of late. We just we weren't even gonna go live. It just happened in about 7 minutes from the time Kim says let's go live, and we were here.
What else we got to do that? What do we got to do that's better?
It's just I usually put a thumbnail up hours ahead.
Sit and watch YouTube.
And I didn't.
That's criminal.
Well, there's a picture of us. So that's us from the back.
Oh, it's working already.
It's working.
There you go.
Okay, so where am I? I've got to move that way a little bit.
No, you don't. I got you.
Oh, you got me? You're going to center me up electronically instead of me moving around. Okay.
Look at that.
Yeah, now I'm centered up.
I got it.
John Boston's is here.
Got him.
Desk cleaner still works with Windows 11. John Boston's, hey guys, Zephyr's hood is up. Looks like it has something to say. Yeah, it has something to say. It's feeling better. Luis Miguel is here. Hello, good evening. Aeronix. It just started getting nice out here. Now I got to get my women motivated to work. Oh, my woman motivated to work on her roll so we can get it running 100%. Oh, what happened, Kim?
What?
Oh, I see. The cameras just went crazy. That's all. You just haven't put it where you want to put it yet.
I didn't do nothing with it yet.
Yeah, it's just pointed at the floor.
Yeah, you told me to get the camera going.
It's looking at my leg and the heater, and the mess on the desk that I brought bags of water up. They're sitting there.
Yep. Got this.
Here we go. So, yeah, what do you see in there? Well, it's sort of waving around. They're just getting a wave around.
From us moving around too much. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, that's a really nice heater under the desk. It's it's 1500 watt like any American plug-in heater, but it's nice because it blows a little air and has a little heat on my legs, and it's not that cold in here tonight.
I mean, we don't
even have the okay, Mexican Spec's giving me a hard time. What? It's the wrong colored brake booster for one thing. Well, here's the deal.
We cleaned all the
rust off of it, and so then it was bare metal. And we didn't want to spend any money, so I'm looking around like, what do we got? It's out of focus. It's out of focus.
Yeah, it is.
So I found some. I have that gray primer sealer. So I hit it with So he says, what hard time? So I hit it with the gray primer sealer, and then that's like flat gray, So then I clear coated it, so it's got a. It probably won't rust or mess up. So anyway, at least it's clean and it's nice and it's there. And the master cylinder's rebuilt, but the lid looks terrible. It's really rusty, so we're gonna have to clean that up.
But we got it. We took it apart. All of those pieces. We took the proportioning valve, the master, and the booster. All got taken apart, cleaned out thoroughly and inspected, reassembled,
bench bled it,
and put back together. Which is a big.
Yeah,
that's big.
And yeah, look at the proportioning valve there. That's all been taken apart, cleaned up, and fixed, and
everything was really verified. Good. It's good. It's ready to bleed out, and
yeah, and the master's rebuilt. It all came out good. So
we need one of them lids, though.
Yeah, we need a lid, or just get that thing cleaned up, and then you know what?
There's so many pitted and
there's so many pits in it. I think I'll just put that rust converter on it.
Okay.
The pedal come up. No, it has not yet, because we're going to do the. I ordered. We got finished here last night, and I ordered brake hoses. I mean, we didn't even look at them. They're 47 years old. So I ordered the 2 front ones and the 1 back one. So we'll put those on there before we bleed them, and we'll probably inspect the brakes down below before we bleed them, and then we'll bleed them once, So yeah, the pedals not good right now, but
so many spare parts, just like in the movie Robots. That's right.
I did watch the 2000 vid, and I watched the ones where you had a couple more of them that were really nice. Man, I don't know. I can't be buying CB radios right now. I gotta get my car running. I still have a few things I want to buy on this, and because we haven't taken the brakes apart at the wheels yet, I may, I don't know how the calipers are, don't know how the wheel cylinders are, don't know how the linings are, all that stuff. So the brakes are going to be good from the pedal to the friction surfaces.
Sorry, we're missing comments.
Again, is that bare metal behind the proportioning valve? I don't think so. Is it?
No, it's like some kind of stain.
She cleaned that all up really well. Yeah, as you can see, the paint looks really good.
The paint isn't very good behind the proportioning valve.
But it's just ugliness. I don't have paint to paint it. But it's not bare metal. The stuff that's bare metal would be rusty. Like the top of that master cylinder cover is horrible. Kim's scrolling up to look at something.
Edward said that his son and I have a Demon 170 that we also trying to make some videos about. He's a quadratic who loves cars and racing, and trying to make a few passes down the track with him. It's hard to do when a lot of tracks will not allow it.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But it's cool that you guys are doing stuff together and you share an interest. That's super cool. Okay. I'm trying not to miss anybody. KJ Kylie, welcome to the stream. Seems you've streamed every night. Is that the case? No, we didn't stream last night. That's why we finally got some work done.
We got a lot done last night. What else did we do? Oh, we ran the coax. We ran the coax under the carpet back into the trunk area.
Oh, he was worried about that coax cable, but we got it started for the antenna because he wants to get a CB radio in the car.
And I used to always use RG58 or RG59 on co-phased antennas. And those of you that know something about antennas, you'll know why. But this time I ran RG8X because it's just a little better coax. So I'll have that going back there. Oh, we got ads coming up in 30 seconds. Blue Grid's here.
Grease Belly says clear coat the booster and the master. He did clear coat the booster. It looks really good.
Who said that? Who said that?
Grease Belly Garage.
Oh yeah, I did. I clear coat. Yeah, that's just primer sealer with clear coat over it.
Luis Miguel, welcome to the stream. I'm sorry that I saw you come in, and I was reading some of your comments, and I didn't call it out. Same with Tim.
Oh, I did.
Welcome to the stream. I didn't welcome Tim in. Glad everybody's here. This is just kind of a very, very relaxed,
Okay, we got ads.
unplanned, late arrival sort of stream tonight. But I took a long nap. I didn't feel well when we got back from the chiropractor. I took a long nap in the middle of the afternoon, and he was up doing laundry and cleaning the kitchen, and then he fell asleep and took an even later nap. And I knew that neither one of us was going to sleep well tonight. We might as well come up here and do a little bit of something. So that is why we are here. Are you okay taking care of the chat now for a while?
Oh, I was going to ask you if you're okay, because I was going to go over and start a fire. What are you going to do?
Go over there and start a fire.
Okay, so all we have to do is decide who's going to start the fire.
Okay, you want to do rock, paper, scissors for it?
Is there wood over there? Or am I going to have to go out and get wood?
You'd have to go out and get wood.
It's your turn to do.
Okay, hey!
No, how are you feeling? I don't want you to...
I don't mind getting some wood. I feel better. I took
Okay.
my meds and I'm feeling...
You're feeling good, okay.
Mm-hmm. You guys want to see the fire get made?
Oh, that would be really interesting, because then they get to see that device you made.
Oh. Okay.
Well, you didn't want that answer, did you?
No, that's fine. It's going to take me a minute to It's going to take me a minute to set up the camera because it's got to go all the way over there.
Greasebelly. Oh, excuse me. Greasebelly says, I'm trying to unlock a seized Pontiac 301.
Oh, no.
Oh, why is it seized? Or just sitting to it for too long? Did it sit too long, or did you spin a bearing or something?
Well, we got to save them.
Let's see here. Patrick Sullivan, I slept till noon today.
What's he using? Is he recording it?
Oh yeah, that Greasebelly? You recording that 301 unseizure thing? Unseizure.
That is a new terminology that I have not previously.
Well, we could use all the terms that Vice Grip uses, but I don't want to use the terms he uses. Yeah, the bellows. You'll get to see the bellows
in action. Live and in person. Close.
Patrick Sullivan says split cam. Greasebelly says the time change had everybody messed up. Well, oh, we did that live. It was 1:59, and then it was 3 o'clock. It's like, man, we went home, and then it was 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock, and I'm like, man, we're just getting in bed. It's 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I know. And then we had to get up today. And
then, yeah, today I only slept I probably slept 4 hours. I didn't sleep well, but I had to be on time to that doctor's appointment.
I don't know why we're making a fire this time of night, but hey, it's just what you do.
Well, you know what'll happen? It'll keep it from getting cold.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am not real warm. My legs are warm. Let's see. Okay, it's locked up because it's been sitting too long.
Oh, that shouldn't be too hard to.
Just please don't use what Vice Grip Garage uses.
What does Vice Grip?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I've seen him fix rusty frames with duct tape. I mean, he's really he's really entertaining, but his videos are kind of long, and I'm got short attention span. I should talk about long videos. We either do shorts or really long videos.
Yeah, right? 5-hour live streams.
Dr. Bellows. Grease soak the whole thing in vinegar. Grease soak the whole thing in vinegar. Yeah, you know, vinegar really works well, you know. Was it Tony did that? I think it was Tony did all those tests, and the vinegar was the best thing that got the rings loose. I was really surprised at that.
Well, I mean, I guess it has very low surface tension.
Edward, it's very hard to find.
Make sure you get plenty of oil to flush that puppy out when you're done, because it's going to flash rust.
What is this here? It says, Edward says it's very hard to find a track that will let me run any vehicle down the track with my 26-year-old son in the passenger seat since he is a quadratic, thanks to the state of Ohio. So it's Ohio that prevents that, or maybe insurance companies or whatever. You know, I built an airplane for a guy that didn't have any legs, and he could fly that air. He had a pilot's license. He could fly that airplane, and he was I don't know. He did okay with it, but he had the use of his arms. But he used to get in and out of the airplane, and we built the airplane with doors that open like this with no pillar in between, which is some engineering behind that. But that way he could get in and he could pull his wheelchair in behind him and lock it in behind him in the airplane. And oh, there we go. Something went off. Oh, it's a different cam or something. Oh, it needs some focus.
A little bit.
A little bit of focus.
We'll get there. I didn't know if it was working yet. So.
Patrick Sullivan, duct tape frame repair, huh? That was the red, white, and blue Chevelle when he got it home. You know what? The red, white, and blue Chevelle, he did that in a motel parking lot, and it was the very first time I ever saw him. And I thought, this guy's, he's hilarious, but he's, you know.
Is that focused a little?
That's focused really well.
Okay.
Are you going to have to scoop some ashes out of there? Nah.
I don't know.
It's getting a lot of ashes. I remember that.
See if you got any coals.
Oh, Edward, quadriplegic. Damn, autocorrect. He cannot drive at all. Yeah, I can imagine. Ari's here. Ari, how you doing? Good to see you again.
Look at that. There's still ashes in here from last night.
Oh, there's still coals?
Just a few little ones.
Oh, yeah, don't scoop them out then because you'll set something on fire. Oh, yeah, there's little sparklies in there. Mm-hmm. Amazing. We can see that. So, you know what I discovered today? Boat Anchor Radio Repair has a YouTube channel. He sure does. And I watched him. I bought a radio from him, and I watched him fix the radio and ship it to me. That was pretty cool. And it's not going to be long before that radio's mounted in this car.
Better be. All right.
It be long, Buff. The airplane, since it was a home built, fell under experimental. Yes, it did. It was an experimental. Oh, look at that. Did you see her using her bellows? I just looked up and you were using them. I kind of missed it. What are you going to do? Put some paper or something there?
Oh, yeah. I need a little help. But, I mean, I don't have to use a match. It's good luck when you don't have to use a match.
The best vice grip video was the white Cadillac. Oh, yeah, I remember that. He took that on Power Tour. Man, you lit that right up with the bellows. Everybody see her using a bellows she made? That's pretty cool. Now you need something in there before it goes out. Let's just say there was a World War II flying ace, or World War I flying ace who had 2 tin legs. Huh. Oh, you know what that is? That's what she calls a candle. It's an ice cream, cardboard ice cream thing, and some old leaves and wood chips and stuff that have some oil, crankcase drain, old oil drained out of crankcases. She mixes it all up and makes that thing. And you know what? That'll get the fire going.
Put fire in there and do that.
What type of qualifications does one need to make an experimental aircraft? Here's the deal. In the United States, it's one of the things we have really good in this country. You can build an airplane, and it has to be inspected by the FAA, and they can comment on construction quality, but they cannot comment on engineering. It's meant to for education purposes, and to encourage people from doing their new engineering and things. So, and then they could sign it off. Now, if they don't like your engineering, they might give you they normally have a 25-hour or a 40-hour fly off before you get a permanent airworthiness certificate. But if they don't really think it's a good airplane, they might tell you you're normally it's a 25-mile radius around an airport, but what they might do is give you like a straight line between two airports that's over some desert or something. So, but I've only seen that happen once, and it was a
Really sketchy
it
airplane.
was a really sketchy airplane, and but it all worked out okay. But anyway, they once it passes the inspection, you do the fly off, and the fly off is really 25 hours if it's a certified engine, and usually 40 hours if it's some kind of experimental engine, and then they give you the airworthiness certificate, and then you have to maintain. You can get a because you designed and built it, or built it from a kit. You're the manufacturer, so you can get a repairman certificate. So then the person that builds it's also the person that can maintain it and sign the logbooks and everything. I guess they figure if you built it, you can maintain it. So anyway, it's a pretty interesting thing. I did it for many years. Edward, he is paralyzed.
You guys keep an eye on it. I'm going out to get some wood.
We're watching it.
Okay.
This is the first time I watched a fire from here. Okay, Edward, he is paralyzed from the mid-chest down and can barely move his arms. I have the car set to safety, hold him in place, including Hans device and a 5-point harness. And does he like it? I bet he does. But I still cannot find a racetrack that will let me take him down it. Man. Hippie Long, no qualifications, but must record the whole build. Yeah, you have to record what you're doing. You really should keep a logbook through the whole thing. I built experimental airplanes for, oh God, probably 25 years of my life. People ask me how many airplanes I built. I used to say 60, about 60. And then I kept saying that, but I was still building more of them. So basically I lost count. And a lot of times I just build the airframe and get the engine on it. And then, somebody would want it. So it'd go to somebody and they'd finish it. They'd put the interior in it and mount their instruments and paint it and do whatever they wanted to do. So, but I'd build them up. I built a lot of airplanes, man. It's fun stuff. Let's see here.
Focus okay?
Oh, yeah, I think so. However, it's very hard to find a racetrack that will allow a special needs person in the passenger seat while going down the track. You need to come into, I don't know, are you aware of Wednesday night lives with Dallas Brown and Shane Polito, the AHRA channel? He's the sanctioning body of that. Of course, it's going to be up to the track, I guess, but see what Dallas Brown says. Maybe, and Friday nights, it's John Wilburn. He's the promoter of the thing, so talk to him.
Yeah, see if there's some kind of conditions, some kind of extra waiver or insurance or something. I don't know.
Harry says, Buff, I have a new goal. I'm going to build a flying machine to get rid of my submechanicophobia. Harry, we got to talk on the phone. Edward says, my son absolutely loves drag racing. Luis, anyway, it's getting late for me. I have to go to sleep. Okay, Louise, thanks for stopping in. Sorry it's so late. Look at her using those bellows she made. Look at that. Look at how well that works. That's made out of a couple of pieces of wood. She made the hinge, and then the bellows are made out of an old pair of blue jeans. Can't, can't
And some
believe.
duct tape.
And some duct tape. Quack, quack. That kind of duck. It seems like every track has a class for young drivers or people like that, but nothing for special needs children. Is everybody watching a bellows? That is, she was working on that for hours, and on the middle of a live, and I was like, yeah, what are you doing? You know, that's gonna leak, and it works so well.
It might be a reach, and it's a lot easier to tell somebody to do something than it is to go and chase it down and do it. So I apologize that this is a suggestion, a respectful suggestion. I don't know if it really is a good thing to chase down. But what? The people at Make-A-Wish, they make all kinds of things happen.
Make-A-Wish Foundation.
It seems like somebody like that, maybe they would have some pull, like to be able to have the insurance to cover something like that happening, and that would give the track maybe some confidence to allow that.
Johnny C says, Dr. Bellows. Kim, that's what we got to name that thing, Dr. Bellows. Maybe. Patrick Sullivan, there's only one time I've flown. It was life flight from local hospital to SF. Local hospital to SF in Peoria. Mr. Sullivan had checked out. No choice in the matter. That would be you. Man, it looked like the whole stove was about to tip over. It wasn't. It was the camera.
Yeah, it was the camera. Sorry, guys.
Edward Hippelong. He has tried that, but nothing beats going down the track in person. What is that? I missed something. Hippelong. Edward, could he possibly do sim racing with special gear? Well, I went down a drag strip for the first time in my life at No Name Nationals last year with Dr. Go. Took me for a ride in his car, and it was not a real fast car, but I got to go down the strip, and it was kind of interesting.
Sorry about the wobblies here, guys.
The wobblies? I mean, that kept pointing stuff all over the place. Oh, there we go.
Trying to get a little better.
You're centered up and you're in focus.
Really? I focused it on.
When you zoomed in or something, yeah. So, Ari, I guess the first thing is start working on getting a pilot's license. You're already doing that. Go out and take an intro lesson in assessment. Patrick sells his 14-second pass. I don't even remember what it was. I remember we were going like 59 miles an hour at the end of the 8th mile. It was in a, what is that thing? Chrysler LS?
Cordoba?
Yeah, it's Cordoba LS, I think.
Is that Focus?
Close enough.
Close enough for a fire, huh?
Close enough for a fire. Yeah, see all that wood we got? We went to a place, all those chunks of wood, that's all hardwood, and it's from a place that makes pallets, and that's all the offcuts, and they had a pile that was enormous.
Yep, and you pay van and
like 3 times the height of her van.
Half a block long.
So yeah, and a half a block long. So you pay $20 and you can fill your truck or fill your van or fill your trailer. And it's a lot of wood for 20 bucks.
It took us an hour or two to fill the van, but it was worth it.
Edward,
And it was was it an hour up there to drive up there? We paid more for gas than we did for the wood.
Edward says, to be honest, Make-A-Wish Foundation should not be the answer for an avid racer. I don't know. I'd still say talk to Dallas and talk to John Wilburn, and then, it depends on how fast the car is, I suppose.
Well, the AHRA doesn't have a lot of tracks anymore.
No, they have one right now. But that's likely to change in time. He's been building engines and stuff instead of promoting it. Yeah, there's reasons behind it, but he's a good guy. Hippie on the government subsidies. The government subsidized beginner flights. Check local schools. Hippie Long. I'm in talks with him personally. Thanks, though. Kim, that is really going. You sure you still need to be blowing on that?
It's a very superficial flame. If I don't blow on it, it'll just kind of die out.
Okay.
It's going big like that because
you're blowing on it.
Yeah. It's like when you're hitting something with a flamethrower. It burns real good until you
take the flamethrower away.
Yeah. It's good.
I just wanted to wheel the torch over there and blow oxygen on it. That would have really made it go. Man.
You guys feel warmed?
Yeah, does everybody feel warm? So the flame lives in Hollywood? Hollywood. Part of the problem is waivers don't tend to have enough force if someone, like an insurance guy, brings bigger lawyer budgets. Yeah, so we live in one of those societies, I guess. Ever, my son and I have thought about buying Milan Dragway. Oh, in Michigan, okay. Because I was thinking the drag strip that was in real close to Milan, Ohio. It's in what's the one that's there? It's Norwalk. I used to work at an airport. I built a couple of airplanes in Norwalk, Ohio, at the airport there, and right at the real close to there is the Norwalk drag strip. So I was thinking of that when you said that, because Milan, Ohio is real close. But I forgot there's a Milan Dragway. Where are you in Ohio? You up in northwest Ohio then? If you're close to there. Hippie Long, it's soothing watching her. Making a screensaver.
That's what I should do. I should just record it, make a screensaver. We'll probably get more views on that than anything else that we do around here. It'll be our biggest video ever.
Okay.
Screensaver of Kim making a fire.
Now it's not so soothing.
Sorry. I'm gonna make it even more soothing than before.
Edward says it's a bone stock 23 Demon 170. 23. Demon 170 running on alcohol. That is. Tim says there was Norwalk Dragway 42 Thompson. I've been to Thompson many times. My shop in Ohio, Thompson was close enough I could hear everything running. Oh, we got ads. I'll pause for a minute.
How are we doing? What are we looking at? Oh, that's nice.
It's out of focus though.
Okay, well I'll hit the focus button in a second. I gotta get it lined up. That better?
I think it's good. Yeah, you're really zoomed in. I mean, you can't even see the stove now.
Nobody cares about the stove.
All you can see is the fire. It's like you're right in the fire. That's okay. Okay, maybe the commercials are over. Yeah, there was Norwalk Dragway 42 Thompson. I was saying, yeah, my shop in Ohio was close enough to Thompson. I could hear them running over there, and I used to take my kids over there sometimes. And if they had, the jet cars or jet trucks or something, yeah, I'd go over there and we'd watch that stuff. Little kids love the jets. Steve Edwards, my birthday was Sunday,
Happy
1964.
birthday!
Happy birthday. 1964, man, you're 10 years younger than me. Just a kid.
That's right.
Maria Macias, welcome to the stream. What other type of firewood do you have available in your area? Outside, we have huge amounts of oak. I have oak trees on the property, and of course, we've cut branches down. I've had people cut them. One's hanging out over the house. So last year we cut those. We burned those. Across the road and up a little ways, there's a woman that had 2 trees. I couldn't even put my arm around those trees. They're so big. And she had somebody cut them down because they're getting rotten inside. And so we got almost all that wood, and it's outside, but it's pretty fresh. It'll be good next year. And then there was a lot up in town the last couple of days. Big pile of wood. It said free wood, and it's oak. And we picked up all of that we could pick up. Made several loads with that. So it's here, and so we have a lot of oak, but most of that's going to be ready next year. So this, Kim, what is that? What do you think that is? That's a hardwood. What do you think it is?
I don't know. It's some kind of pallet.
Something they make.
I don't know all the woods that are indigenous here. It's locally sourced.
Yeah, it's locally sourced hardwood. I don't know what it is. Patrick
it's just
Sullivan.
Scraps, little pieces.
Yeah, well, you can think and see what it is. Yeah, yeah, it's like a whole van full of pieces like that.
Yeah, and it would have gone to the dump. They'd have to push it in a landfill if somebody could come get it.
They give it away for next to nothing, and then at some point they got to get rid of it. So let's see here. Patrick Sullivan. I'm currently in Assumption, Illinois, home of Motion Dragway.
Okay, huh?
Huh?
That looks okay.
Oh yeah, it looks okay. Tim says broke my 64 Ford at all of them. Motion Speedway. So, okay. Not Motion Dragway, Motion Speedway. Trying to see like our old TV station played Christmas music. You'll for 24 hours. Buddy Carafano. Nice fire. Let's make some s'mores. That's something.
Love to have s'mores.
She's got that really close. But that wood stove's flat on top, and she's brought food up here and just set it on there and cook food, like big stew or something on there while we're working and take a break. It's pretty nice. Let's see here. Edward, I am in Swanton, Ohio. Man, I don't know where that is. Formerly from Monroe, Michigan. I don't know where Swanton, Ohio is. I'm going to have to look. Mexican Spec, does anyone want to see me driving through tunnels coming out of Durango? This is a road I really don't like. Oh, is that already done? You already drove there. Did you video it? Yeah, of course we want to see it.
It's a dash cam. That's what it says.
Oh.
A lot of that wood, I could tell it's not oak because the grain is not tight enough. It's something. It's not pine because it doesn't have a lot of sap in it.
Oh, and pine burns so fast.
But it has the looser grain. I mean, it burns pretty fast, but it's been kiln dried, so it's real dry.
Oh, I see. Mexican Spec put it. I wasn't that far down yet. Mexican Spec put it up. Okay, cool.
My feet get cold.
Yeah, your feet. Last night she was taking her shoes off and putting them up against the.
Oh, last night I went to bed and my feet were cold for like 2 or 3 hours.
I got a big heating
pad. With the
pad.
Heating pad.
I went in her room and she goes, "I am so cold, my feet are freezing." I go, "You got a heating pad here?" I shoved it under her feet, turned it on.
Spur.
Well,
I don't know,
Douglas
Steve.
fir is like pine. It's really burns fast.
It's hard.
Oh,
It's really hard to say. I don't know though, but the fact that it's it's so cheap. It's small, so we don't have to split it or process it anyway. We just throw it in there. It's just chunks of wood, and it's so it has dampness, but it's
it
been
has dampness because it was outside,
because it was
not
outside in a
not
pile. But
not because it's newly cut wood.
that's different than green wood. So it burns so good. It's really been a lifesaver this winter. This is our second load of it, and it's fantastic. And I don't know. Even when it warms up, I might go up and get a couple more loads just to have ready for next year. But then we'll also have all those big oak rounds. Those will be ready for next year. So good times. It took us a couple years to get things rolling here. When I got here, this place was just not ready to try and do what we're doing now. So it took some time.
I had a shop that was at least 3 times as big in Arizona. When I brought all my stuff here, it filled this place, and so making this a workable shop was hard. To go from a shop 3 times as big, downsize was really hard. AHS maybe, Steve Edwards, AHS.
Mexican Spec sent us an Instagram.
The video has copyrighted music, but I don't care. You're not monetized, so it doesn't matter, right? Or maybe you are monetized now. I don't know.
Hippie Long says it's free. Can't get better than free wood. So we get free wood from like the neighbors and from up the road a ways. We get free wood and we bring it home, but it's always green. It's always like limbs came down in a storm or somebody had a tree trimmed and the trimmers left the wood there for anybody they wanted to take it. But you can't really burn that very good right away. It needs to sit for a while. So this stuff already being kiln dried is just fantastic. This got us through this year, and next year we're better.
Cool. Love the smell of.
Some days I know.
Can you smell that?
Yeah, you can. I'm sure they can.
Okay. See, you got the doors open on that. At some point, we got to close the doors and make some heat.
Thought they would enjoy the.
Yeah, we're enjoying the fire.
I thought they would enjoy watching the fire.
I don't know what that last thing is you threw in there. It looked like a piece of radiator core, but it's a piece of wood.
It's wood.
It's wood. Oh, man.
Yeah. See here, look, I'll show you that the temperature on the stove is getting up where you want to see it.
Smell vision. Yep.
Can you see the temperature
on I can see it there. Yeah, it's not up in the yellow yet. But you close the doors and leave those vents on, man, it'll be like a blast furnace in there real quick.
Yeah, I wanted to give them a taste.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, but yeah, I know.
Of fire for a few minutes.
The fire.
Closed it up.
The fire.
Oh, the fire.
Okay, so Edward says, I'm literally 45 minutes from Milan, Michigan at the drag strip and an hour from Norwalk. Okay, I know about where you are. Yeah, I worked in Norwalk for 2 years.
You can shut it off unless you want to watch the temperature go up.
Watch the door?
Well, you can watch the temperature go up.
Well,
the temperature's gonna.
I'll just wait till you get here, and then you can fiddle with the camera. Or the... You're gonna put it right on the gauge. You're gonna zoom it in on the gauge.
Is it focused?
No, it's out of focus. It was focused. You zoomed it in.
Focused yet?
No. It's close. There. Oh, you went right through it. There. It's focused. Right. Oh yeah, that gauge is coming up. I knew once you closed it, and you've got them. Oh, you got those things.
All right, you guys get to watch the gauge with us for a minute. This way, I don't have to sit over there.
This is pretty funny. We're streaming a temperature gauge coming up.
Yep, this is important stuff.
Hippie long. Set wet logs close to the fireplace. Yep. we got that over there.
Yeah, well, we got 4 sides, so we could set them in front and back on the side. Yep.
Cope says Norwalk, world's #1 track. I didn't know that. See, I used to work at the Norwalk airport, which is really close. And a lot of times I'd be over there working on airplanes and listen to the drags, but I actually never went to the track. But I could hear it. I could hear it going. Oh God, my nose is cold.
If you throw the keyboard on the floor, it comes apart quite easily. Yeah, if you jump up and down on it or smash it against a wall, those things help too. I don't know. Have you had any good viewership, Mexican Spec, on your travel videos?
My nose is freezing.
I'm curious if that's working out for you.
Okay. You're back.
It's going up. Look at it going up.
Yep. You're going to have to handle the chat.
Okay, where are you going?
I got to take a break from it.
Oh, okay.
You know, just one of those breaks. And while I'm taking the break, you see what happens is my wastebasket gets so full, I can't even put another water bottle in.
Oh, sorry, everybody. It's shaking the whole business.
Whole monkey business. Oh, that's the other thing we did last night was we were working on the monkey bike. Did a lot. Oh, Kim, this is
Live at 84 views after and 10 or 12 viewers during. Yeah, but I'll bet people came and went. I don't know. I mean, we all start somewhere. I remember when we started, we were happy if we had like 9 people in a live, like in the middle of this live stream. We were like, wow.
I remember after a week just cheering because we had 1 new subscriber.
Yeah, we were getting 1 new subscriber every couple days at best. And we were like, oh, boy, we were working so hard. I mean, we still work pretty hard, but the hard part is behind the scenes. Like sometimes John will trivialize, like, oh, anybody can make a 1 minute a day video. Like, nah, you have to be doing something. You have to have something interesting going on to be creative, and it sure helps to have another person to hold the camera. And you have to have a lot of self-confidence, and then you have to have like that reassurance. Like you have to have that person who's there like on a bad day when you're like, this is failing miserably, where somebody will like pump you up. Like, no, look, we're doing okay. I wasn't watching the numbers. I was keeping my eyes on the road. Well, yeah. That's the other thing. Patrick Sullivan asks, I was wondering what are the requirements to get monetized. I think you have to have 1,000 subscribers and you have to have 4,000 hours in a rolling year. So over the course of a year, yeah, exactly. The 4,000 hours is where what really was hard. Like my channel, Kim Fixes Things. If you're unaware of my channel, I've never been able to get to 4,000 hours. I've gotten to 3,500, and then I just like slowly just started getting less and less and less, and now I have like 2,500 rolling hours. And if I make a new video, it pumps up for a little while, but then some fall off at the end of the year before. And it's the live streams that keep this channel well within. I mean, we're past that struggle for monetization now. Not that we make a lot of money, but like we're not like going to get dropped out of monetization because we get enough viewership. What the other thing that really put us over the top was he makes, well, I help too, but he puts up shorts every day, and YouTube loves to see consistency. Do you guys see that? See that gauge? Now that the doors are closed up, instead of it sucking all the air up the chimney, and it's just like baking in there, now it's putting out some heat. So.
Okay, Tim, I'm going to. Oh, you closed some stuff down? I'm gonna close these.
You're gonna damper it?
Just hold
Probably, because it's getting hot
Oh,
quick.
it's getting hot fast. That's almost down all the way. The top one's good. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I don't want it to like. Okay, so, and then that temperature gauge is off by 100 degrees, so we know it can go up into the overfire by 100 degrees.
I'm sorry if I missed anybody who was making
I'm
comments
cold.
here.
I am not warm.
He's leaving early.
Who's leaving her?
Mexican spec. He's leaving at 4 a.m. So.
Oh, geez.
And the thing is travel and landscape videos, they probably aren't. They're probably not like the biggest. People aren't going to hop in and stay for a real long time. They'll stop in, they'll say hello maybe, they might ask you a question or two, and then they'll move on to something else. And that's just the nature of that kind of content. So as long as you don't have unrealistic expectations, because if you think you're going to get a million views on a video like that, you're going to be really disappointed because it is unlikely. The other thing is like, we will get a video that gets like a ton of comments and feedback, and like it's like the outlier. Like it gets so many views, and we can't understand why. But if you don't keep making videos, you'll never get that.
Can you fix this so we get rid of the temperature gauge and we can see us?
Yeah. No.
Well, no, just get rid of that camera. Oh, move it way over there. You like watching that?
I want to keep an eye on it, and I don't want to have to sit over there.
You're going to watch it go way up into overfire.
No, if it starts getting like that, I'm going to run over there and fix it. Check that out. This, if you guys are not familiar with it, this is Open Broadcast Studio. It lets me manage multiple cameras, multiple sources, and we have a little streaming computer, and it is not like a super powerful computer. I think it's about, what, was it about 6 or 7 years old? Maybe like a 2019 model computer?
Oh, I thought it was like 2 or 3 years old. I don't
think
it was that old, yeah.
But it wasn't like a high-powered gaming computer. And it seems to manage the stream pretty well. That's pretty good. We got compliments on the scenery. People think Sonora is a cartel-infested area, but we are an agricultural state with things growing all over the place.
Yeah, it surprised me how green everything is, because the part of Mexico I see is up there by the the Sonoran Desert, and it looks completely different than where you were. It's just I don't know what I expected, but it was pretty cool riding along with you.
In a tunnel through the mountain is a lot to ask. Yeah. I know one tunnel that has good internet all the way through, back home in Pittsburgh. And they did that because for traffic or disabled vehicles, and it's like right near downtown, and it goes to and from downtown. So they did run like 5G through the tunnel. But it's probably one of the few in the world, I would think.
What short got the most views? What was the one I was so surprised at that just did so well?
The one with the funnel was real big.
Oh, the stupid funnel.
It's always the simplest things that you would not think.
It was a steel funnel with a bendable, like to put transmission fluid in. That thing just took off. I can't believe, and I was just, I didn't know what to do for a short that night. And I grabbed it and I go, here, we'll do this. And it was just stupid. Showed her this funnel that bends around. You can stick transmission fluid in. Thing took off. Why? There was one a couple of weeks ago that did really well. And then the more recent one that's done really well, we've got over 200 subs. The video I did where I was real shaky and I was eating that Chicago hot dog.
The Chicago
hot dog
did fantastic. A food video. Why? Because it's relatable. It's very relatable to people. Car stuff. How many people are really worried about this? This car is 47 years old. Now, there absolutely are people that love Fox body cars, and Fords and stuff like that, but like it's a very small number compared to the overall internet, right? So when you do something that can reach a lot of people, whatever you're doing, it's content. If something good happens, it's content. If something bad happens, it's content. You just have to try. And if it doesn't go, well, tomorrow's another day.
Oh, and there's some I've done that I thought were going to be really good. You get like 68 views or something. I was like, what? You know, and after like weeks, it'll have over 100. I'm like, what happened here? Why'd this fail? You know, but I don't know. It just happens.
Tim, I believe it is the Liberty Tubes. Liberty Tubes? No, I think it's Fort Pitt. I don't think it's either of those, Tim. I think it's the Fort Pitt
What's
tunnel.
this?
He's asking, is it the Liberty Tubes or the Squirrel Hill tunnels?
Of what?
I don't know. What those tunnels might have it now, but I think that the Fort Pitt tunnel, because it is the main highway, and I think that was the first one that they
Where's
did.
this
at?
Because I thought they were talking about tunnels that Mexican Spec went through.
No, they were talking about. I said that they had 5G through the tunnel. That one right
okay.
there.
Oh, yeah, I see
he
that.
asked
I see
which
that.
tunnel,
I was really
and
lost.
But you would have to. I'll bet you if you Google searched, you couldn't even. They might not even tell you. But I'm pretty sure that.
But your mustache has its own fan club, and you know what? I trimmed it up so it was crooked because I botched it
Oh,
up. I fixed it.
I cut his hair.
And she cut my hair. Oh, look, I'm getting a little thin on top, aren't I?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're not doing too bad for an old man.
It's got like a receding hairline, but my brother, by the time he was out of high school, he didn't have any hair on the top of his head. So, yeah. My dad lived to be 91. He was still like half his hair was still dark, and the other half was gray. Mine turned gray by the time I was in my 50s.
Sorry. I sneezed. Tim says, it's been a while since I was through those tunnels. Been a while since I was through those tunnels.
Oh, and Edward says the transmission was built by John Cope. Well, cool.
Yeah, he said he had the first 4R100 E40D manual valve body with a trans brake. Yeah. And John Cope, he's pioneering those kinds of
I just watched
things.
a John Cope video where he pulled apart a big Ford transmission that had been raced for one season. Yeah. And it looked really good inside.
Nice.
And he's thinking he's probably going to put most of it all back the way it was. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I hope we see the follow up on that when he goes back together with it to see what he does with it. Okay, you watching your fire?
No, I was not watching my fire. It's getting hot now.
Yeah, well, everybody's going to think that's up into overfire, but I know from having a temperature gauge that we, one of these laser things, that thing reads about 100 degrees lower than it actually is. So we're not really in bad shape.
And if we really want to heat the garage, we got to get it all the way up there.
We get it up there, and then we've got a box fan we blow on the outside of that. It blows warm air.
There have been times where it's gone all.
I don't tell everybody it's because
and that's too hot.
Makes me nervous as hell.
We have to be real careful.
Ads inserted.
Oh, Hippie Long is the last kid who doesn't have white hair. I have some white hair up here. I gotta fix that.
Yeah, you're getting a stripe. Man, my hair looks worse on camera than it does in person. Because I know, well, you cut quite a bit off the top, but that just turns into a big old mop. And
your head looks a lot smaller.
You cut a lot off there, which I like because it was getting so I was having a hard time putting a hat on, and I wash my hair and then just all turns into this like a mushroom. It looks terrible. And she cut my hair, made it really nice. When the wood stove turns orange, the garage is warm. We've never had it get red.
We've never had it already is even remotely red.
Never has it been that hot.
Yeah, that would be really bad. You don't want to do that to it.
Although I would bet if you had a cup full of aluminum in there, I bet like right in the middle of that fire, when it's really rolling, I bet you could melt aluminum. I know you could ruin aluminum. what is this? Raising Cane's in Spanish ad and O'Reilly's.
O'Reilly's Auto Parts. I like the O'Reillys here in town. They're pretty good to work with.
Yeah, why in Spanish? Every once in a while, I'll get.
You get 2 points for calling out the advertisement, Hippie Long. Sorry about the ads, guys, but we appreciate our sponsors.
Every once in a while, I get ads, not on YouTube, but something I watch, and they come up in Spanish. And I don't know why I get Spanish ads.
Buddy Carfano asks, how do you keep the shop cool in the summer heat? We have one window, and it has a pretty good size AC unit in it, and it doesn't keep it cool, but it knocks the humidity out real good.
Oh, you come in here, it feels cool because the humidity's
down. It feels a lot
down.
better. Yeah. So it keeps it manageable in here because it's the humidity that really makes it bad here in the South anyways. So yeah, you run it for a couple hours and it's really manageable. And the concrete floor in here and the shade of the garage roof, it doesn't get too hot. It's pretty good.
So I wonder what CSLI was. And he says Cali, and then it's like, okay, now I know where the keys are. I know what happened. That's a pretty good typo.
Mexican Spec says, I just saw we now have O'Reilly's here, but not in my town.
Oh, look at this! You gotta dance now. You gotta clip that thing up.
Whoever had a B-day, happy belated birthday. Mine is half an hour away. You're giving us a donation
on your birthday.
In honor of your birthday. Patrick, thank you so much. Here
we go. Here goes the Studebaker lights. The Studebaker's lit up. Super chat.
Oh, I'm just gonna.
And Mexican Spec says Feliz cumpleaños. Cumpleaños. Which is a birthday.
I wanna wish you a happy birthday. I wanna wish you a happy birthday. I wanna wish you a happy birthday from the bottom of my heart. Okay. That was silliness.
That's not I'm sure that's not a copyrighted song.
Was that infringing? Sorry.
Oh, no.
Infringed.
Okay.
I gotta take a quick pee break.
You gotta turn the Studebaker off.
Oh, the Studebaker can blink. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy
we'll let it blink
in honor of Patrick's birthday, we're going to leave the Studebaker blink for a few minutes.
311. That's pretty cool.
I want to wish you a happy birthday from the bottom of my heart.
Patrick Sullivan says, I'm buying birthday wishes, Kim. My circle is smaller every year. I don't know. Man. Stewed cop lights. You know what that is? That's what that is. It's a little thing that's meant for a police car, and it's cheap, and it's meant to flash blue or red and blue or red and red lights. And the caution in there, when I bought that thing, it says, do not attach it to the headlights. Because it's not meant to for that kind of amperage. Oh man! But that thing costs that flasher costs like $14 or something. So it's just a 12-volt battery hooked to a flasher, hooked to a couple of LEDs that we stuck in there behind the turn signal lenses. What is this? Oh, Jason said if you go to the junkyard and take out the interior from a minivan, it would all fit. I'm not sure what is going on there. What did I say? It would be. Oh, it says, yeah, Max, it would be a lot, but I've got captain shares in mine. Okay, they're talking about doing of an expedition. Something, I don't know. I've kind of lost track of what was going on because I was paying attention to the super chat. Mexican Spec, I want wigwag on my cars to mess with people. Yeah, here I don't think you're supposed to do that. You can have them flash at the same time, then they're emergency flashes, but you do this, and then you're probably impersonating somebody you're not supposed to impersonate. Although I've noticed some cars, like from the, man, when was it? Late 60s, early 70s? The turn signal up front and the side marker light would alternate. So if you were looking at it like from a 45-degree angle, you could see them alternating. But if you were looking at it from the front or the side, you couldn't. I don't. Mexican Spec probably knows what cars those are that wigwag. Oh, this is probably acceptable, Mex. If I got really flush, I'd be a fool not to ask you to find local upholstery talent for me to have you employ. Is that pronounced Javi? Like Javier? Javi Macias. Not too far. I'm not too familiar with the West Coast, but I've been through central Mexico many times. Lists a whole bunch of places. Edward Indecisive has the world's first hydraulic manual valve body for a 4R100 E40D. It's a reverse manual valve body with trans brake that actually works. John Cope. Yeah, John Cope's pretty sharp, isn't he? Make something like that. But yeah, I go to Guadalajara a lot and bring cars back up through uh, uh, Tepic, Tepic, and Tepic. I don't know, in Mazatlan. Patrick Sullivan, I believe it was a Dodge product. Mexican Spec. This time I brought the car in Durango and it came through there this time. Edward, Cope Racing Transmission for all your transmission needs. Yep, he was just in here. I don't know if he's still here.
He's a fun guy. He stops in all the time.
Yep.
Hangs out when he can. Considering he's, busy guy.
What are you eating? You went and got cookies. It's like, I can have, here's my limit of carbs.
Having an iced oatmeal cookie.
Oatmeal cookie. Oh, this is going to be good. Oh, it smells so good.
Okay, I was going to ask, did you turn them lights off already? Thank you again, Patrick.
I did. The idea is somebody else sends a super chat. I don't want to have a dead battery up there. I've left them on accidentally a few times.
Do you want to do more on your car, or you want me to work on my monkey bike?
I don't know what you want to do. I'm kind of on the cold side, but I don't know why. I mean, maybe it's heating up in here.
If you move around, it heated up like a degree or two, but it's not going to get warm because we started this fire too late.
Lester LeSabre, some Fords, Maverick, etc. Flash side marker, alternate to turn signal. Yeah, I know it was some car back then, but I couldn't remember which it was. Mexican Spec, Kiwi said he was listening to my live while he was working in a shop truck. Well, he was working on a shop truck.
That's really cool.
And he was entertained. I'll take that as a compliment. Yeah,
and that is a compliment.
And it's a good view. Heck yeah, and have Kiwi watching you. What was that car he just did? It was not a Ford. Took something for a ride. It's a GM car. Man, he got up to about 50 miles an hour. Started vibrating.
I think it was a Pontiac, wasn't it?
It could have been. I don't remember.
I heard Dr. Art talking about it.
Oh, did you? Oh, yes. Yeah, so Dr. Art was riding with him. And you know what's wrong? I could feel I shaved like early this morning, so I can feel all these stickers on my side of my face.
It's a Pontiac.
Yeah, it was a Pontiac GTO. Okay. Patrick Souls, you're welcome, guys. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you, Patrick.
Howdy, I bought a truck in Monterey and came down through all these names of places in Mexico that Coahuila, I don't know how to pronounce that. Try saying that one, Buff. I did try and I just failed. And then through Durango. Man, when I first read Lester LeSabre wrote about a Fairmont and then Durango, man, I misunderstood that. My eyes just went over it too quickly. And I thought she found him a Fairmont Durango. And I was like, wow, I told Kim. And then I went back and no, it's in Durango. It's not a Durango. If any of you know what a Durango is, it's just like my car here, except they lock the back off and make it a little pickup truck like an El Camino.
Oh, right.
So like a Ranchero, like a late model Ranchero. It's pretty cool. Buddy car found out GTO had flat spot tires. Oh yeah, I bet it did. Yeah, because they were old tires. What am I doing here? I'm trying to look into the camera, and that's the wrong way to go. Mexican spec. I told Kiwi to get rid of the flat spots is to do a burnout, then move the front tires to the back and repeat. He said it sounds like that's a voice of experience. I worked in a place where we actually had a thing that had a little curly Q blade on it. You get tires out around, and you could run those on there, and it would actually carve some of the tire off and make them round. The only thing is you lose some tread then, but at least you can run the tires for a while. So when you buy crappy tires that are out around, oh man, we used to get these tires. This is back in the 80s, and the name of the tire was Newmont, like Pneumont, and this was back during communist times, and they were from East Germany, and they were one size, and they fit Volkswagens. And those things, every damn one of them was out around by about a quarter inch. They go down the road like this. They're terrible, and they were like $9 a piece. And I worked in a wheel alignment shop, and the guy next door had a tire shop, and he sold hundreds, maybe thousands of those things to people with Volkswagen Beetles because he didn't have any money, And so as long as they didn't go down the highway, just drove around town, it was okay. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the keys to your
car. They're buried under the water.
Okay. Yeah, I need them. I'm eating bugles.
What are you doing?
You guys remember bugles?
They were here.
My mom always bought them when we went camping for snacks.
What?
Because they were named Bugle.
Oh, Bugle. Get right there. Blue Angels.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going to... Now remember, there's only one set of keys, so if you close the trunk...
Okay.
Then we gotta do some work to get them back. Oh, he says Mexican, awesome. In fact, the movie Mexican with Brad Pitt and Julia Roberts was filmed in Real Dick 14. My Spanish is not very good. U.S. don't know we have paved roads. Tim says, glad you're back and neck are feeling better. Gotta go. Warm weather this week. Also, it's warming up there in the high country. So I want to get out to work on the truck. Yeah, I know your work kind of stopped when the cold came.
Oh, that's awesome. He's going back to work on the truck.
Mexican Spec says, put the bugles on your fingernails, Kim.
Oh, yeah.
I remember when bugles came out. Hey, my car's moving.
It's not.
I don't know what you're doing. Oh, what are you doing? Moving it out of the way so you can bring your monkey bike over? Yeah. Let's go Sabre. Mexican, you have paved roads? Olive says, Bugles are stupid expensive now, but since I can't have potato chips, I sometimes buy them and I'm disappointed. You know, they got a lot of carbs. You know what I get because they're crunchy, but they don't have carbs is something else that's almost disgusting is the what are those things called? Pork rinds. I buy them sometimes. 14.
Yeah, I taught him to eat them, and now he does. They are
14.
disgusting, but they're also good.
14. Excuse me.
I can only eat one pork rind. My tummy, they are too fatty for my tummy.
Mexican Spec says my car's leaving without me. Yeah, buddy says always need more than one set of keys. Yeah, I need to do something about that.
I'm sure they can make keys for an old Ford.
Oh yeah, I'd run down to the, you know, the little local hardware store down there.
City.
Yeah, Hardware City. They family operation. I first got here, all their kids worked in there, and now the kids are all grown up, so now they've got other people working in there.
Nice people there.
Oh, they're knowledgeable people in an old-fashioned hardware store. Looks a little messy, but man, they know where everything is.
Oh man, not just a little messy. That place is chaotic.
It's chaotic, but they know. But they know where everything is.
They do. They know.
And they. That's a good store.
It must take years to learn where everything is in that store. But it's a cool place.
Olive says carbs are not my problem. Nightshades are. What is nightshades?
Nightshades are certain kinds of plants. So I'm guessing potatoes are a nightshade, but I don't know.
Oh, you learn something every day. Patrick Sullivan, anyone remember the 721s, Slip Belt City, followed by the Trax 12? What I remember was the Firestone 500s, because I was working with a guy that was selling Firestone 500s, and we had to adjust 3 out of 4 of them, and I mean, they exploded. And he about lost his business because of those horrible tires. And what came in after them were the 721s, which were better than the 500s, but they weren't much better. At least they didn't explode. Man. So, yeah, I do remember. Aren't bugles made of corn? They could be.
They are, yeah.
Hippie Long says, pork rinds? Healthy. No way. No, it's just they have low. If I want to eat something crunchy that's probably not real healthy.
They're not high in carbs.
They're not high in carbs, and I can eat, and I don't eat a lot of them. It takes me a while to get through a small bag of them.
It's better than when he starts snacking on stuff that he absolutely shouldn't have.
But the thing is,
but then his triglycerides went through the roof. So.
My blood sugar doesn't go up. What are these? See, carbohydrates. What do they got
terrible.
Here? Just a couple of them is like 18 grams.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can't be much.
I'll eat one just.
Yeah, you get one, like with the cookie.
I get see this?
One bite of cookie and one bite.
See what I got? I got a flattened bugle. You can't even put it on your fingernail.
One boog. That's all he gets.
When I was a little kid, my mother brought it home. It was something new. It was a new product, bugles. I didn't really like them. They still have kind of a funny taste.
They do have a funny taste. They make me laugh. So fun.
Oh, it says tomatoes, potatoes, okra, most peppers. Wow. Yeah. Oh, I gotta have my okra and my peppers. A lot of things. And my tomato. I can eat everything there except the potatoes.
Boy, we got a lot of dirt on.
Mexican Spec says no potatoes at all. I would stop eating.
Yeah, right. I would starve. I would die.
Patrick Sullivan says wide O's. Remember they called them wide oval because they were the inside of the tire wasn't round anymore. They were starting to get lower profile tires, and they called them wide ovals. Patrick, I had a set of 721s in my life. I had a 56 Ford 2-door wagon that came with a set of 721s on it. And I drove it like that until I sold it. And I wish I hadn't sold that car. It had a 6-cylinder and a 3-speed in it. 3-speed on the tree. and somebody had taken the seat out and put some Chrysler seat in it that didn't fit very well. But I drove around for a while, and somebody wanted it, and wanted it. Gave me more than I paid for it, so it went away.
You're always selling the cars you like because someone's giving you money.
Oh, those things make you cough. Oh,
You have something to drink?
yeah, I'll be okay.
Do you want me to get you?
No, I'm good. This is gonna make me start sneezing. I got a cough. Jeez, cough drops, cough drops. That one bugle, and I got a cough drops. Send me to sneezing. Oh God. Hippie long. Any slip belts? Oh man, my 721s. I drove that car around town a bit, so no, mine were okay. But after the 500s, the 721s are a great tire after the 500, but they weren't very good. That's how bad the 500s were. 500s. This guy had a nice big shop with like 9 bays or something, an alignment shop and brakes and all kinds of front end work, and then he sold tires. And the building was owned by Firestone. He rented the building from Firestone, from the Firestone family. So when he got the building, it was full of Firestone 500s, and he was selling them. And then they all started coming back. What a disaster that was! And he had good customers that he'd built up over years in another location, and everybody was angry with him.
Well,
And you know what he did? The 721s came out, and then he says, I don't care if Firestone owns this building or not. He put in all Michelin tires. And that was the end of the problems. Okay, we're coming up on ads. Coming up on ads, 9, 8, 7, 6. Yep. Oh, Space Cat's here. Good evening. Doing what while the ads are in. Oh, I see you're doing something while the ads are in. What are you doing?
is it on? Oh, there it is.
Space Cat, my dad did a lot of investigations for the Southern California Auto Club because of the failures of the 500s. Oh my God, what a disaster that was. This guy had a heck of a shop going. He was losing his customers, and he took care of everybody, but at great expense. And then just got rid of all those tires. Put in a whole stock of Michelin tires, which I'm sure cost him. Oh, it says I got offered $5,000 for my Volvo wagon during the hipster bubble. It was like, that's great, but I can't replace this car for $5,000 around here. Yeah, I know that. I know how that is.
Right?
X-Inspect. I recommended Real de 14 to anyone. Which I guess means Road of 14. I don't know. 15th century mining town up in the mountain. Have to go through a 2-mile tunnel to get there.
2-mile tunnel?
Space Cat says people are dying on the way home with brand new tires. Man, that's got to be top of the list, worst tire ever made. X-Inspect says that's not my style. I like more modern stuff. El Fuerte is fairly close to me, and all the roads are rocks. It's a very old town. El Fuerte, Sinaloa, was founded in 1564 by Spanish Captain Francisco de Ibarra. Okay, we're doing something here with the camera. Camera's going nuts.
Try and relax.
Try to relax.
Everything's okay.
Getting seasick. No, I'm okay.
Worry about the seas.
Patrick Sullivan. I worked inside the Decatur, Illinois Firestone plant as a subcontractor, Japanese owned. At the time, I swear, the erasable whiteboard said 70% plus 70 plus. Oh, that's probably scrap. I don't know what that's supposed to say. Nearly every day. Yeah, that's when were the Japanese that bought Firestone. That was I can't think of the name of that tire. Is that the same mini bike came out all along? She has had that one all along, but there was another one she took to No Name Nationals. It was a smaller one. So this is one that she's had, but
I've never brought this to any events or anything.
No, it's got a new engine. Yeah, Bridgestone. That's right. I couldn't think of that. Bridgestone and Firestone. Yeah, they were Bridgestone is Japanese.
Maypops, yeah.
So Kim put one of those variable transmissions on there. Now she's got it off, and I don't. Something she had to re-drill or something. So
I have to lift the motor up because the transmission hits the exhaust and it hits the frame. You can't put the cover on.
So you need to make more room.
And
there's plenty of room up above.
Yep.
Heck, I really like the way Buff makes an effort to pronounce those Spanish words. I can pronounce Russian words. See, I took some Spanish in school when I was like kindergarten, first grade, because we had to. And I lived in Southern California, so they mispronounce everything, most things, but I kind of know what it is. And I knew somebody named Javier, so I assume you're Javi, like it's Javier, but shortened, I think. I don't know. Yeah, my little bit of Spanish is darn little.
I am.
And what are the directions? A la izquierda and a la derecha, I think. Some guy in Ohio one time, he was lost and trying to figure out what's going on. And I knew where he wanted to go. And I couldn't make sentences, but I said, I knew the directions. And he was thanking me and all of a sudden speaking Spanish to me faster than I could ever understand. But he drove off in the right direction, so I guess I got it through to him. Also says I have been well pleased with Bridgestones. Dean Stevenson's here. Welcome.
Party people in the house.
Oh, that's message to Dean's self. People who live under stone bridges shouldn't throw tires. People who T. Stevenson. What I used to say, like yelling. You're not supposed to yell "movie" in a crowded firehouse. Wait a minute. Mexican Spec says, yeah, you can speak Russian, but Spanish is a problem. Yeah, I spent more time working on the Russian than I did on the Spanish. I don't know if I should have done that.
At the time, it seemed fine.
Well, I hope the whole, you know, we were friends at one time. Steve Edwards, going to bed now. See ya. Dean Stevenson says, Dean first troll comment has backfired because of superior knowledge. So what are you going to do? You're going to undo that engine, then you're going to have to lift it up, make spacers or something?
Yeah, there's a spacer under the other motor on the other mini bike.
So is that something you got to make, or is that something you got to, you know what you're going to do?
I will have to make something. Yep.
Put a 2x4 or 2x6 under it.
Yeah.
A piece of wood.
Big chunk of lumber. Just throw it in there.
Oh, you got it loose already.
It's only 4 little bolts.
Yeah, but I wasn't paying attention. I looked over there and you're moving the engine around. I was looking at the chat, and then when I looked over there at that camera, the engine was moving.
Yep. We out here. Getting it done.
Patrick Sullivan. Man, my browser hard froze. Uh-oh.
What? I hate when that happens. We wanted to see if you knew what to do.
Yeah, Edwards says, good night, Steve Edwards. Got Edward and Edwards.
Good deal. Coming in same time.
What is this?
Of course.
Hollis says, he, Dean. Half remembered knowledge, I guess. Shimbashi? I don't know, damn it. Then Dean Stevenson says, Shimadzu. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Just having fun.
Sounds like they're speaking Japanese.
Perhaps.
Patrick Sullivan says, too many tabs open. I guess. I've done that before. Overloaded the computer. It gets pissed off. So why do you have 47 tabs open, stupid?
Yeah, that's mad.
all these little tiny tabs all the way across. It's like, yeah, I should probably close some of that.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah, it's like I keep seeing videos I want to watch. Like I keep putting them in the queue, and pretty soon I got all these tabs. It's like,
oh man, and if you lose
it's like,
tabs,
yeah, and now it's all overloaded.
If he loses his tabs, his computer crashes. If he loses his tabs, it is a national emergency.
Oh, I see. In Japanese, bashi definitely means bridge. Oh, so it is some kind of Japanese. In Russian, you'd say Panyemnyetsky. Nemnyetsky is Japanese in Russian. And Spanish is Ispansky. Вы говорите по-испански? That means, do you speak Spanish? Hippie Long. Kim, turn Turn steering to the left while attaching so you can turn and not pull the cable.
Yes.
Oh, she's got snow there. What is that?
Me?
1 by 2 or 1 by 2.5? That's 1 by 2.5. Yeah, it's 1 by 2.5. Oh, that's noisy. She's dropping steel and it's like hurts my ears. Could be long. Cable must loop more off or bar end. Well, cable must loop more off or bar end. Oh, this is Bridgestone tires from Japanese. Yep. I remember when they bought Firestone. And it's like Bridgestone and Firestone. But Bridgestone is Japanese. That sounded funny to me. Yeah, Space Cat up there says, mini bike, good break from the dashboard heater core. Yes, dashboard heater core, CB antenna, wires, run, brakes, all the stuff at once. Oh, a lot of people here didn't see what happened up there. Of course, you got the camera. We were showing what we did last night with the brakes earlier. The rebuilt power booster and master something, and they're all back in there now. Dean Stevenson liked the Acme anvil hitting Wile E. Coyote's head. Bobby, has Buff been a winter Texan at some point? You know what? I lived in Arizona for almost 15 years. Well, it probably was 15 years, not all at once, probably 12 or 13, and then went back for a couple. But I was in Yuma, Arizona, so I was right on the border. And I used to go into a place called Algodones, which is right there at the Arizona, California, Baja California border. Texas was a place that mostly I just went back and forth across. So I've spent a lot of time in Texas just because it's huge and I drive across it. Whatever the heck it is, 918 miles across the place. And I bought this car in Texas. We went to Texas to buy this car. Oh, says, yeah, Buff, the Bridgestone company was just translating the town name they were named after, you see. Buying Firestone would be coincident. I see. Buddy, studded snow tires make for good burnouts on dry pavement. Sparks. Well, you know what else makes sparks? When you wear your tires down to the point where the steel belts are starting to show, and then you go around circles in the like you turn real sharp left turn, and the tire on the right side will make sparks because the belt is scrubbing on the pavement. How do we know that? Because I was young once and we used to do stuff like that. The other thing that happens when you're making sparks sometimes, like turning big circles like that, the wheel cover comes off and goes shooting off across the parking lot. You got to go chase it. Patrick Sullivan says probably he's well traveled. Oh man. You know, in the U.S. I am. Internationally, now what countries have I been in? England, Finland, Russia, Canada, Mexico. That might be it. The U.S. I've been in all but 4 states. I got to get that fixed. I haven't been in North Dakota, so we're gonna have to run up there sometime. And then there's 3 New England states I haven't been in, which is Maine, Vermont, and Rhode Island. Rhode Island's kind of a weird one because you never go through Rhode Island. It's like way off in a corner. You got to go to Rhode Island. And Maine's kind of the same thing. New Hampshire, I have a friend in Amesbury, Mass, and he's right on the border there. Oh, perfect. Are you giving me a job?
Well,
You're giving me a job. Okay, so I need that lid. What's this container for?
you can't work out of this container, or what will happen is it will ruin this container.
Okay, you see what this is? There's some kind of mung in there.
I
So what
know
I'm
you know
gonna
how
do?
to clean the container.
So I know what I'm gonna do. Let's take these clean containers.
Okay. I just want to make sure you.
Oh, Edward's saying good night. Oh yeah, Harvey Firestone.
Thanks for being here, Edward. Good luck with the channel. Stop in again. We'll plug your channel on a night like tomorrow night. Stop in and we'll put up a link to your channel. And hopefully it'll get you a subscriber or two.
So what I need, a little brush. Where happened all those brushes we had? I'm gonna need a. I'm not leaving. I'm just leaving a little bit. Oh, I tinked something on the computer made that noise.
There you go.
Okay.
You probably don't want to do the whole thing with that tiny brush unless you just like paint.
No, I'll just.
But
Okay, so I put this treatment in this container, right?
yeah, you can open that last. Make sure you're ready with this.
Do I got to shake this up or anything?
I just shook it up. Yeah, shake it up.
Oh, it's shook up. Okay. See what we're working with is this stuff. Oh, it doesn't want to unscrew. Look what happened.
It leaked.
No, it's
Careful,
opposite.
you get that on your fingers. It turns your fingers black.
Okay, it's opposite. That thing's stuck. See what happened? I took the top off and there's this seal that's glued itself on there. Oh,
I'll get it. Give me a minute.
I need a like a knife or something to stick
Give me a minute. I'll get it.
Okay, and then I'll get that piece off the master cylinder. Oh, you already took it off. And then I'll take this Cool Whip container and I'll do it in the container so it doesn't go all over the place. So I'll put the stuff in that. Put the stuff in the cream cheese container. I'll put the
Did
part.
you show them what you've got?
Yeah, I'll put the part in the Cool Whip container. Yeah, this Permatex rust treatment. I showed them. Maybe everybody wasn't looking. So, but the seal on the top is stuck. So, Kim, why are you working so hard on that?
It's real dirty. It's got to be clean. It can be rust on it, but it can't be dirty. And it is.
Mexican Spec says, "What did you do, Buff? What did I do?" We have a lot of winter Texans here in deep South Texas this time of year. They love going to Progreso to do shopping and dining. That's Nuevo Progreso. Nuevo Progreso. I have been there. See, when I'm in Tennessee and I want to go to Mexico, I go there. When I'm in Arizona, I go to Algodones. So yeah, I've been there. I bought medication there many times. Man, you know where I stay when I go there is, now I'm going to open my mouth and not be able to finish the sentence. Far, a place called Far, Texas, because that's where I stay. And then I go into Nueva Espresso. So do you know what Far is?
Do you have paper towels over there?
Very few. I have one left.
Yeah, I'll bring you one.
Yeah, there's a roll somewhere over that way. Oh no, I lied. There's these little baby paper towels. There's 3 of them.
Okay. You're going to need probably something
to wipe that off down with.
rubbing alcohol or something.
Some kind of cleaner.
Got some rubbing alcohol?
Well, I know where there's. Oh yeah, that'll work. That's not rubbing alcohol, but okay. This is 99.9%.
Do you want to do different alcohol?
No, this is fine. This is fine. I just can't spray it at the heater. Oh, this is some expensive stuff. That's why but it'll work fine. I didn't use that much. Oh, I'm dripping it on me. Okay, that'll dry off. Then all I need. Okay. Yeah. Mexican Spec told me that was not a good place to go. I already been there. Hippie Long says, Kim, do you have any aluminum bar stock? If so, use aluminum instead of boards and put bolts through the frame, aluminum space. Well, you know what she's got? That's steel right there.
Yeah, I got
That's steel. And we have a lot of aluminum around here because I'm
an bin over there.
airplane guy, and there's a whole bin full of, there's so much aluminum around here. But I don't know, she picked out that steel. And we're less than a minute from, I want to get back in case that spills.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sure got messed up, didn't it?
It did.
The top got messed up.
Figures.
Far.
Should still work.
Yeah, but I think it's PHARR, maybe. I don't remember.
Just pour a little bit out. It won't keep. And then put the lid on.
Oh God, that looks like some kind of. That looks like.
That's how it is.
That looks like something you're supposed to. That looks like medicine.
I'm gonna.
Ads.
Do you want me to zoom out so they can see what you're doing? You're just painting on the thing.
Here, I can hold it up and show them, but they're looking at ads right now.
No, only a couple get ads.
So you just spread it on like this and it turns black, right?
Yep. Make sure you get it everywhere. Keep the rust down for a little while.
How long does this stuff take to dry?
All right.
Oh, so I'm gonna have to take it out of there and tip it over. And then when it's done, we can paint it some other color.
Yeah, we painted something bright, so it looks nice. It's better than just rust.
Better than rust. You got it.
I think the cap on the front of this is leaking. Fix that up a little bit. I had to get him going. There's no specific time frame to get this stuff done. We just keep moving forward. You got so quiet.
Yeah, I know, because I'm busy, and the ads came on, and now I'm not paying attention to chat. I'm paying attention to what I'm doing.
Laser focus, people.
I'm focused. Focus! Come on, focus! I'm focused.
Laser focus.
What else is going on here? Yeah, Mexican Spec says don't go there. Dean Stevenson, Newport, Rhode Island, named after a bottle of port. Space Cat Far. Maybe it is F. It's Farr? Is it PH? I don't remember. Far, Texas. Dean says, Lester Saber, I think that statement is applied with bias. Hobby says, I'm in the Rio Grande Valley, Reynosa, Far, Nuevo Progreso. Like Buff says, man, you're right there. I know that area really well. That's pretty funny because most people I tell them about that place and nobody even knows what I'm talking about. And there you are. You're right there. I even know what the Far police cars look like because I was staying in a hotel there, Holiday Inn Express in Far, Texas. And man, all of a sudden, I went out to my car to get something. Here come all these police cars, and they're all lined up in front of the hotel. And I'm like, I just look at them. They go right by me, just charge into the hotel. And the woman at the desk, kind of a young woman, she came out. She's standing there. I said, what's going on? Did you call them? She goes, I didn't call them. They went to some room. Like, wow. Something happened. She was working the desk. She had no idea why they were there. I don't think she ever did.
Seems like a bad thing.
Yeah, somebody called them. Oh, Kim, this stuff's starting to turn dark.
Yeah, it does. Pretty.
Yeah, it's turned like a dark bluish gray color.
It's good stuff.
Oh, I probably poured too much out, but I think I can pour it back. Can I pour that back in the bottle?
You
Or?
absolutely cannot. It will
Okay.
contaminate the whole bottle, and it will spoil, and it will never
Okay,
work
so what
again.
else do we have that's rusty that you want
Well,
rust
you want to.
converter on? I put too much in there.
It doesn't matter. You just throw the rest away. It's fine. But you can flip it over and do the underside of the lip.
Really? I don't know. I did around the sides of the lip.
Perfect.
I don't really want to flip it over and get it on the interior.
All right, then don't.
But I got it all the way around on the edges. And I feel bad about wasting that.
No, that's already starting to go bad. It doesn't last forever. Once you open it up, it's like a.
Okay, so you got the container closed?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know if there's anything that's rusty that you want to like do that finish in that blue black.
Okay, just a second. I got to catch up here. I'm lost. Says, Max, I got to get out of the country. Could use a half decent wrench. Space Cat used to work around Kotola patch, the oil patch. Dean Buff is a member of the Aluminum Nutty. It's great when you want aluminum stock and bars. Yeah, I don't even talk about aluminum. I talk about 6061 and 2024 and 7075 T651, and so that's how I talk about aluminum. So it's all by alloy. Oh yeah, and this thing's it's not just there's no brush marks left. It just sort of smooths itself out, doesn't it?
Kinda. It's not great.
So if I put the top on this container, it's not going to save it, huh?
No. Nope. The rust activates it.
And because I dipped the brush back in there.
Right. And which is fine. That's how it's used. Has anybody ever used that stuff before?
Javi, I was told this Mexican specs is Javi. I was told to stay away from that area. We have the Sinaloa cartel here, but they are nothing like Los Zetas. Javi says Mexican spec. Yes, we hardly go over there. Just Progresso, and that's it. Yeah, that's all I do. Because when I was in Nueva Progreso, it felt so much like it was just almost like I was in Algodones in over by Yuma, Arizona. It was the same kind of thing. It was all Americans and Canadians in there, and everybody spoke English and took dollars, and I didn't go very far into this town. I just did what I needed to do and walked back across the bridge, and it was everything seemed fine. I mean, it was just a city full of Americans and Canadians. Cartels probably like all that money coming in. I don't know. Hippie Long, Mexican Spess. I'm very proud and impressed with your new president. Okay, I don't know. I don't. Okay, and I don't watch Mexican politics very much.
Well,
I pretty much don't watch a lot of politics very much.
I wanted to ask a political question, but I don't know if I should or not. Can I ask it and you can decide if it's a bad question, or should I just scrub it? I can just.
Yeah, ask me when we're not on. Paul says gangsters don't unduly scare me. One just stays out of the way and let them think what they think about themselves. Mexican Spec says hippie long. You've seen more of her than I have. What is she doing? Where is this?
I don't know. She seems smart.
Oh, the president is a woman. I see. Now I understand what that question is. Harvey says there's a Texas Trails and Tipo, Texas mobile home park in Pharr, Texas. Oh yeah, that's what it is. Pharr. I knew it was some kind of a strange spelling.
Oh,
What was
come
that?
on. Oh,
Are you okay?
that's hard.
What was that noise?
Noisy, creaky old.
Oh no, I thought like your back cracked like major or
No,
something.
I just said, oh.
Well, I heard some cracking noise right before the. So the cracking noise was something from the monkey bike, and the was from you. It wasn't the crack from your back. Okay. We both got. Well, she's got back and neck problems. I got neck and shoulder problems. I suspect that doesn't work in Hobby area of Mexico. New Mexican president stood up to the idiot fascist. That cannot fail to be enduring. I don't know. I don't want to get deep into politics, but she's telling the states to clean up our own problems. All of Mexicans spec. Well, I said not unduly. I'll say out of don't go there if well advised. Dean Stevenson. She grew a set of avocados, yeah. Huevos.
All right. On the same topic, but not political.
Yeah.
On a more practical, but relevant topic, if I may.
Okay, what's going on here?
I saw something that was not very well explained. It was more headlines than anything. That they were changing. They were basically saying you needed more than a passport to get into Mexico now from the United States. That you should not travel to Mexico with just a passport, and that you needed something else. Has that
visa?
changed? Has it changed what you need to come in and out of Mexico in the United States? Does anybody know? Has anybody else seen any more? I know there's a lot of conflict. The same with Canada. It's getting really dicey. And I have some very strong opinions about it. But
Well, I'm watching less and less of politics. Their intention is to scare the living shit out of people. Mission completed.
yeah, I agree with you
Just
there,
avoid
Patrick. Scary.
Metamoros, Reynosa, and the road going to Monterey. Once you get out of that area, you're safe. It belongs. The border is another world. Internal part of Mexico is very different. Okay, it also says mainly Mexico is not known for a great deal of shade in those regions, so I might have more trouble with bright light than gangsters. Man, I went outside tonight when I went out there earlier and took a break. There's stars out there. We don't have a cloud cover. Man.
Yeah, and it's almost a full moon.
Wow. Probably they do block the roads, and you better hope you don't have any money for them to take. Mexican Spec. You need a visa now, says Mrs. Mexican Spec.
Okay.
So you need a visa to go into Mexico now?
I heard that they were doing stuff like that.
So now I got to apply for a visa to go into Mexico?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
So much for that.
Yep. No more going into Mexico for your meds without more paperwork.
That's really going to hurt their.
Well,
that's going to hurt those small border towns that rely on.
It is, but
people go in there. But
it's what happens when a trade war starts.
It's like get even. Oh, we're all going to have get evenism now.
Yep, that's how it ends up going. Politics. That's what happens when you play politics. Is it gets, tit for tat and that whole thing. That's part of why we don't want to participate because there's really no benefit for us. We'll be on the wrong side of it, and
you're going to be on the wrong side no matter what.
Well, with somebody.
Kevin Smith, can't imagine a reason to go to Mexico. Well, I used to go to Mexico to.
Mexico's not a horrible place.
To buy mostly medication, but I also bought other things as border towns, and they're kind of fun place to visit. But no, not to visit the border areas. A visa is needed to spend any time inside the country. Oh, okay. So they're going to let you go across the border and spend money. Well, that's okay. Dean Stevenson, Kevin, the cars, man, the cars. To be long, I dislike tourist areas. The Mexicans in all those areas are very different from the people I know here in my small town. Well, here's the thing about the border towns. There's medication and doctor's offices and eye clinics and all these kind of places that are just so easy to deal with compared to on this side of the border, the American side. It's they're really happy to help you and take your money and not a lot of money and get the products you need. And I really like Mexico for that. And then a lot of times I'll also stop and eat in a restaurant or something there. Or, if somebody else is driving, I might have a beer. I did that once. Somebody else was driving. I had a beer. And yeah, I don't know. It's the border town's okay, but it's not like deep into Mexico. It's a border town. And the border towns I go to are small towns. They're not like Tijuana. I've never been there. I've been to Algodones, which I think Algodones is about 3,000 people, and they have more dental clinics there than any city in the world. That's a city of 3,000 people. So you can imagine what it's for. It's for the Americans and Canadians. Mexican Spec says if you're here for less than 180 days, you don't need a visa. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm never there for more than a couple of hours, but I haven't been there in a while. I live too far from the Mexican border now. It's really, really inconvenient because when I was in Yuma, I'd go over to Algodones. It'd take me a couple minutes to drive over to the. There was a parking lot on the American side. Park in there. It's $6 to park, and then you walk into Mexico and do what you want to do in Mexico. Come back, get in your car, and drive away. At Progreso, they have same thing. There's a couple parking lots, and you walk across the bridge, do whatever you're going to do, and spend an hour or two there, and walk back and get in your car. I've never had anybody check anything going into Mexico. Coming out of Mexico, of course, you got to have your passport or your passport card, and you check in with the check in. You got to go through the American, whatever they are, I don't know what they are, customs people, and they usually just go, what did you buy? What's in the bag? And I'll say medication for diabetes and high blood pressure. And they go, have a nice day. Sometimes they look in the bag. Sometimes I say, oh, I bought a couple of t-shirts. Look in the bag. Have a nice day. Hand me my passport back. So it's really easy at the border, unless you're an idiot and you don't have a passport. And then if you go into Mexico without a passport and you're coming back, yeah, you're going to have probably going to have not such an easy time coming in, but you'll get back in. Mexican Spec, I went to a pharmacy in Mazatlan to buy my medicine. It was 3 times the price there. I told the lady I don't pay tourist prices. I bet I pay a lot more than you do for medicine, like in Progreso or in Algodones. But compared to the U.S., it's a whole lot less. So, yeah, it's still a good deal for me. There was a woman I knew from the Philippines, and we were friends, and we were both living in Arizona, and she wanted me to buy some medication for her while I was there. Well, you're not supposed to buy medication. You're not supposed to bring medication in the U.S. for anybody except yourself. And it was something for women. And I said, I can't do that. I said, why don't you just go over there with me? So, and she was a U.S. citizen by then, so she had a passport. So we go into Mexico, and we get our medication, and she wants to walk further in, and I'm like, I just want to go home. And she goes, no, I want to. She's looking at T-shirts and everything, so I'm looking at T-shirts. So I'm looking at this T-shirt, and I said, and I wanted it, and I said to this guy, how much? And he goes, $16. I paid him $16 for the t-shirt. She sees a t-shirt she wants, same guy. And she says, how much? He goes, $16. And she goes, I'll give you $1. Oh, when we first walked in, she goes, this looks just like the Philippines. Okay. So she goes, I'll give you $1. And he goes, no, $4 or $5. And she goes, no, $1. And finally he goes, $4. And she goes, okay. And she pays $4. We're walking out, and I said, you know what? I just paid $16 for a $4 t-shirt, because I'm used to going to Walmart. You don't go up to the checkout and start to, I can give you this much. No. You just pay the price. Well, see, Mexican Spec, I didn't know any better. I just, I'm like in the U.S.,
They don't teach you to haggle here.
You don't go into Walmart and go, $16 for a t-shirt and go, no, I'll give you $1. They throw you out of the place. Probably call the police,
Yeah, retail here is non-negotiable. The price is the price.
The price is the price. It's not like buying a car in the street from a private individual, So anyway, yeah, it's kind of a pretty funny story. I felt kind of stupid after that. But you don't do that where they sell medicine. You don't do that in the pharmacies. You pay the price. And what I found was whatever I paid for 30 tablets in the US, which is like one month's worth, in Mexico I paid the same amount, but the bottle had 100 tablets in it. So that's considerably less than I pay here. So, and that was pretty much the rule in Mexico was
third.
But yeah, third. It was actually a little less than a third. So I didn't have any I didn't have any problems with that. Yeah, and of course in Algodones and in Progreso, they it's all dollars. I mean, I suppose you could use pesos, but it's all Americans and Canadians. Kevin Smith, I will stay in Ohio. Never catch me flying ever again. Oh, I flew my Mazda down there. That's back when I had the Mazda. I didn't fly down there. It was 1,100 miles from here, and I drove down there to Progreso from Tennessee. And I stopped at a couple places, and I kind of made a little trip out of it. Mexican Spec says, Kevin, it's the same in Nogales, Sonora, or Nogales, Arizona. I've never been to Nogales, but I would expect it's very similar. That's where you take the cars. That's where you move the cars across, isn't it, Nogales? Could be wrong, Kevin. That's because the USA sucks up all the Colorado River. We used to go to Baja for millions a year. You know what? The water treatment plant in Yuma, they sell water to Algodones. So Algodones, you go to Algodones, they always say don't drink the Mexican water, but you know what? It's the water comes from a water treatment plant in Yuma. So I never really worried about it. Kevin Smith, I'm just observing what drone footage we see on the news. Oh, you know what the news is. Somebody will probably get mad at me for this, but I always call it all of them. I give them all the same name, the Lying News Network. Get your news from somebody like Mexican Spec or somebody that you know that's there, or get your news from somebody that's locally wherever it is, and use your head and figure it out. Man, I'm not watching any stupid news. It's just all, it's horrible. Just horrible. All they want to do is get ratings and stir the shit, All says Mex in the U.S. they're routinely like 30. Oh, t-shirts, I think is what she means. Oh, if we do get gouged, even worse in medicine here. They're terrible about medicine here. Although some things aren't real expensive, but still, what I noticed was it was a third or a little less than a third in Mexico. So I was never unhappy with that. Okay, we're coming down on commercials in about 30 seconds. Mexican Spec says there was a roadside, and I'll kind of take a break at a commercial and be quiet for a minute. There was a roadside place where they were selling Native American pottery. Same type of pot had two prices. When asked why, the guy answered, "Some people like to pay the higher price."
Some people like to pay more. I feel like they're getting more money.
Okay, I know right where I am here, but I'm gonna take a minute or 15-second break for the commercials.
See if this camera's still on.
See if the camera's still on.
Yeah.
What do you want? Scene 3? Oh yeah, it's on your monkey bike.
Okay. Is it on? Oh no, it's not on. Because I moved the camera, so it's on the monkey bike. Confused.
Mexican Spec says, remember this phrase. I'm going to try it in Spanish. El precio en pesos. Oh, ask what the price is in pesos. I get it. Yes, Nogales. Okay, that's where you go. It's Nogales. I know a lot of stuff comes across in Nogales. I know the railroad goes across in Nogales, and there's probably a lot going on there. And it's probably in the right location for you. Oh, it says Mexican. Oh, God, I'll get it out yet. Oh, it says Mexican Spec. Honestly, that sounds fair. Then you got to guess what kind I am, I guess. Mexican Spec. Nobody in Mexico serves tap water in eating places. Now, that's when I had the beer. I was eating in a Mexican restaurant in Algodones, and I had I don't remember a Mexican beer. I don't remember what it was. Uh-oh. Kim just took out our camera. Oh, you went to a different camera. Uh-oh, you got a dangerous tool out.
I got a tool. Does anybody know what that thing is called?
Yeah, does anybody know what that tool is on the floor? Do they get... Oh, wait a minute here. Do they get any points? Gene Stevenson, I love stupid news outlets. If you learn. Mexican Spec. Avi, there's a dollar price and a peso price. I was saying ask for the price in pesos so you can see what the exchange rate they're using. Yeah, a place like Algodones, I mean, their registers are all full of dollars and everybody's spending dollars, and you're like, yeah, it's such a good deal. I never worried about it. Mexican Spec, more farm girls there, Kevin.
I'm gonna make
Kevin
noise.
Smith, hot
I'm
chick.
sorry.
Okay. That looks dangerous. Look at this thing. That was all rusty. Now it's black. And it feels almost dry. It's still not quite dry, but it's dry enough I can handle it. Let's see. Hippie Long. I'm pissed. Getting ready to retire. Now nowhere to visit. My government's pissed off everyone. Just damn it. Some of it's unwarranted, though. I was watching some guy in Canada on YouTube, and he's all pissed off at Americans, and now he hates Americans.
Oh, you're got
Yeah, I know, but he hates Americans because of the tariffs. Because of the tariffs, and he's all pissed off about it. But you know how many Canadians I know that are paying? I thought it was 20%, but I've heard it's 25%. car parts going into used car parts out of junkyards going into Canada. And I sold an airplane to a guy in Canada. And he was a Canadian guy. And he came down and picked it up. He just picked up a fuselage. He went into Canada and they nailed him for 25%. And then he lied to the Canadian officer about what he paid for it. So then they not only they searched his car, found the receipt, so they charged him the duty, the tariff that they said and then they charged him $3,000 for lying to him, a penalty. It's like, whoa.
Okay, so make noise again.
Okay, she's gonna make noise. Mexican Spec says, I see Kim with one less knee. I'm nervous watching her.
No. I used to use these every day. When I was doing plumbing, we were always using a Portaband. It's a hacksaw, bandsaw, hacksaw. Portable.
It's a pretty powerful hacksaw.
Really good. There's like one sharp tooth on that blade, and it still whips right through this.
Auto Salvage Outlaws here. Good evening.
Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it.
Kevin Smith says, look safe.
It's
Everybody's saying hello to everybody.
It's fine.
Olive says, don't effing do that again, Kim.
What do you mean?
I know, she makes me nervous with tools, too.
It's fine. That's exactly the way you're supposed to use that tool.
Hivion says, bench and a vise. Auto Salvage Outlaw. I went back to my name. ×3. Well, good. I'm glad you're here. How you feeling? Kevin Smith, Prep H commercial or wrinkle remover. 2 points. 2 points, if that's the truth. Javi. Mexican, sometimes it's better to exchange your dollars for pesos and only just how much you plan to spend. Dean Stevenson, how do you know it's you? Well. Oh, God. Kevin Smith, both said duty. Oh, duty again. Duty. They'd laugh at how I pronounce that word. Patrick Smith, I have not had cash in hand for years. It's all digital now. Man, that's one thing in Mexico. I always had cash. I don't know. I pretty much don't walk in there with much. I usually have one credit card, my driver's license, my whatever money I'm going to have, and then my passport. There's no reason to take like a fistful of credit cards or something, you know. Something I might lose where I don't want to lose it. Mexican Spec, Javi, I never have dollars, so that's not an issue for me. If you change the dollars, you always have pesos left over. Dean Stevenson puts duty like some kind of, I don't even know what those, what are those? They're not letters, but they look like letters. Patrick Smith, Portaband, yes, that's the name I was looking for. Kevin Smith, never carry cash. Oh, they're all making fun of my duty.
You guys are childs.
Will the legal people understand my accent? Let's see here. Auto Salvage Outlawed. Dean ×3 is new start with new lady and baby. Well, that's good. A new start. Bobby, hopefully Kim and or Buff and Kim will come over and enjoy South Texas someday. They won't regret it. See, if I'm right there in Texas, I'm going to want to walk into Mexico. She's not going to want to do that. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I really don't have any reason to go there now other than just to do it. I don't know what's in South Texas. It's fun. See, I went there to go to Mexico, and that's why I stayed there. But man, my guess is there's probably a lot of places good Mexican food, which I like. And yeah, I don't know. Dean Stevenson, well done on not shooting blanks. Okay. Jeez. Auto Salvage Outlaw, today was bad. Always after going to, man, what is that word? After going to Dallas? Is that Dallas? I don't know what that is. Heavy Long Auto Salvage, you sell parts. Auto Salvage Outlaw, I used to. Hippie Long, he sells body parts, kidneys, hearts.
Jeez, oh man.
You never know what Dean's going to say. Kevin Smith says, hole emoji. So that's what that is. And hole emoji, and Dean uses them for O's. Stevens, but he always seems to have enough to go around. Auto Salvage Outlaws laughing at Dean. Does Kim have a passport? Yet. I don't know. You don't have a passport. Yeah, she does.
I'm not going to be able to get one right now.
And no, she doesn't.
They are not issuing passports to certain people, and I am one of those certain people.
Yep. Hippie Long, dialysis is a tough one. My roommate does it. Auto Salvage Outlaw. I'm looking for a set of kidneys on the black market. Oh, geez. Hippie Long, lots of sandy soil, tumbleweeds. Olive grabbing Benadryl with nose gushing. That's allergies. Might get me down here before the bad guys do.
Yeah.
Benadryl. Man, you know the bad thing about Benadryl is then you can't stay awake. I didn't know that. Benadryl also takes care of itches and stuff. And I got, if any of you know what chiggers are, I didn't know what chiggers were. But I moved here and I was working out in Arizona and traveling back and forth. And I can always go down the road for 1,000 miles easily without sleep. So I was out here in the lawn working on the mower. And I got chiggers all over my ankles and everything. I didn't know what they were. I thought they were mosquito bites or something. And then trying to get rid of the itch, I took some Benadryl. Well, crap, I couldn't drive a half hour down the road. And I was so sleepy, I stopped in every rest stop, every gas station. It's like, what is wrong with me? I had no idea that was making me drowsy. It was making me drowsy. So yeah, I really, and then I had trouble sleeping sometimes before I lost the weight, or maybe, I don't know when it was. I had trouble sleeping, so I'd take some Benadryl. That would put me out. But I try to stay away from that stuff now. I'm sleeping better. I got pains, but man, today I fell asleep for a while and my arm wasn't hurting. After all that work I had at the doctor, maybe it did some good. Dialysis. Auto salvage. I need to have a big party and get a kidney. Oh, geez. Kevin Smith says, auto salvage, you can have Dean's kidneys. Auto salvage. Outlaw. Kevin, I'm thinking about it. Maybe long. Dean's kidneys are a little used. Burrowing mosquitoes. Yeah, Patrick Sullivan. Burrowing mosquito. I had no idea what a chigger was because I wasn't from around here originally. Well, then when I learned, it was, by the time I learned what they were, oh man, I had a mess going. And so now I'm really, really, really careful with summertime around here because there's chiggers around. Dean Stevenson, my Franz Lab's enemy of the state, purple t-shirt, Kimberly. Oh, it says chiggers like to get under bra straps. Oh my God. You know what they did with me? They got up under my pant legs and under my socks. So they were all around my ankles. And they're just, I thought they were mosquito bites, but they were 20 times what a mosquito bite is. Worse. Worse. Never had anything like that.
Yeah, because they gnaw.
Javi says, if I'm not mistaken, you can cross back with your license. Just ask before you go across. And I don't know. I was coming back across one day from Algodones, and I had my passport. The guy behind me says, you don't need a passport to get across. And I kind of looked at him. I said, yeah, you're supposed to have a passport or the card, which is a passport card for just within the Americas. And he says, no, I'm a police officer. I'm thinking, and you know what? When I got through that building, he was still standing there trying to talk his way back into the U.S. It's like, yeah, see what your police officer BS does. He didn't have the right. He didn't have the right. Yeah.
We need to see our papers.
He didn't have the right stuff. Yeah, stupid. He just went into. Well, and he was with his wife, so they're both in there, and he's like, I'm a police officer. They were still in there when I left.
Maybe
you learn to follow the law and not just be a police officer.
Maybe not such a good plan.
Maybe you can get away with that in your hometown with the other police officers, but
weren't you looking for these just the other day?
Yeah, I was. Or were they?
Is there anything else you want to paint black?
I don't know. This turned out really good, Kim.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I got to do now. Oh, there's
a spot.
I missed a spot. Oh, yeah, there is something I want to do with this. What? The spot I missed.
That's a good idea.
Okay. No, I don't know what to do with that, but I'm glad I had some extra. Yeah, I had to put some extra on there. But see, that converted that rust. That's amazing.
It'll stabilize it. You can paint it now, but it doesn't last forever. It's like
well, it sure looks better than it did.
I mean, it's one of the easiest ways to top coat and stabilize some rust, but it's not miracle stuff. Like it'll come back.
Kevin Smith says, "Hey, when they get under my bra strap." Yeah, Mexican Spec says, arrogant police officer. That's exactly right. That guy was so sure of himself.
Foolishly arrogant.
And I go, I think it'd be easier for you if you have the right documentation. Police officer. He needs to see your papers, says Dean Stevenson. Papers? Well, I remember when I first got my driver's license, if you get stopped by the police, you had to show me driver's license. And that was it. They might want to see the registration, but probably not. And then, 10 years later, probably 10 years had gone by, it was license, registration, insurance. And that's how I felt like, papers? It's like, what I hate is the cop wants to talk to you while you're walking and they want to see your driver's license. Go, no, I'm required to identify myself. And that means I tell you my name and really that's it. I guess maybe you have to tell them your address. I don't know. You have to identify yourself. That doesn't mean you have to have a driver's license to walk down the street. Yeah, hippie long. I don't need no stinking papers.
We don't need no stinky batches.
And then Dean Stevenson speaking Germanized English.
German I.
Yeah, we can do nothing without the papers. I don't know how to pronounce.
Nothing without the papers.
Okay, then Kim, gonna upgrade the engine to a Predator from Harbor Freight. That's what that is.
That is.
That's exactly what that engine is.
It has almost no run time on it. I bought it from a guy who bought it new, and it didn't have any spark. But he didn't know that until it was beyond the warranty. So it had never ran.
Oh.
It had gasoline in it one time, but it never ran. I put an ignition coil in off of another motor, and it started right up and ran good. So I mounted it on there, and I've never ridden the bike. So it doesn't have 10 minutes of runtime on it.
I think Mexican Spec's taken off. He says, adios all.
You cannot.
Oh, and Javi says the same thing. Good night, guys. Nice chatting with y'all. See you on the next one. Yeah, you're welcome. Come on back. Come on back. Welcome to come back. Buddy Carfano says, can you paint my nails with the extra paint? Where are they, rusty?
You can. They'll turn black.
It's rust converter.
It's nasty stuff.
Did
you get that on your finger? Did you get any on your fingers?
No, I don't think so.
I think I have one finger. The tip is black from getting some on there.
Dean Stevens says, officer, I have a message from my mother for you. Kevin Smith, pretty sure putting a belt drive CVT last I knew. Yeah, she's putting a belt drive CVT on it, exactly. She had it on there. She had it on there, but it was too close to the exhaust, or it was too close to the frame tube, so it was touching one or the other, so she got to lift the engine up a little, give herself some room.
Go Power Sports, who sells the conversion kit, they sell a lift plate that lifts the motor up. It solves all the problems. So I'm making one because they charge you a lot for a little piece of metal. I'm just going to make one myself. I made one for the other engine because I wanted the engine high, so it gives you better center balance. The low engine is actually not that good for handling. You'd think it would be low center gravity.
You're not going to tell them what you did though for the burnout contest. Or I don't know if that's like a trade secret or if you
what the front brake.
No, the engine mount.
What, way forward like
that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I put the engine as far forward as I could.
Up and as far forward as she could for the burnout contest. And she won the burnout contest. Oh, and then she put a brake on the front. So the weight's all really far forward and there's no weight in the back. And she's leaning forward and everything, and she just burned the tire forever on the burnout contest at No Name Nationals. Dean Stevenson says, without Mexican Spec's moderation, things will turn to despotism and anarchy. Stop, reconsider. Do y'all have a welder? We have several welders. I have a oxyacetylene rig. I have a MIG welder. Oh, the ads are coming. Kim has a flux core welder. I have a TIG welder, but I can't TIG weld anymore. My left hand's too shaky. You need both hands, and it's neat little welds, and I just can't do it anymore. So my TIG machine is, I don't know, maybe the stuff we're doing to the doctor, maybe my hand will become less shaky. I kind of hope so. It's all on the left side. All the problems I have are on the left side, so maybe it'll get better. Don't know. Don't know what's going to happen. Maybe there's TIG welds in my future. And that stuff just turns black and makes it, that spot I missed is already turned black. I'm going to shoot some paint on that.
Don't do it tonight.
What's that?
Don't do it tonight.
No, I won't do it tonight. I'll let it dry overnight.
Yeah, we'll work on it tomorrow. That's why I wanted to get it done tonight, so we could paint it next time.
Here's the ads. Oh, Auto Salvage Outlaw says, what is the brown car? The brown car is my Mercury Zephyr Z7.
turn the
Oh, no,
camera.
I turned the camera. I already got it.
Oh, you got it. Nice. Okay.
It's that thing. That's the one I went to. We went to Dallas and bought that. My Mazda got wrecked, and I decided I wasn't going to get another electronic car. I wanted something simple. So I found one. Actually, I didn't find it. JB, who lives in southern Texas, down there, very close to Javi, found it for me, and it was in Dallas. He found it on Marketplace. I made a deal with the guy and went down there and got it.
And it needed a window.
It needed some work, but it's a very clean body with
brakes cleaned up.
No rusty business on that, and that's the problem. Even here, you get rust on the body, and of course, up in the Northeast, you really get rust on the body.
Yeah, and the engine and everything, driveline is good, but it all needs gone over because it's a 47-year-old car that only has 100,000 miles on it. So they didn't really do a lot of major overhauls. It's been just kind of driven and driven and driven and driven.
Also, that says rare car Fox body.
Yeah.
Yep, it's the Fox body with the top that's a little lower and that what some people call the basket handle over the top. There were two of them. There was the Ford Futura and the Mercury Z7, Zephyr Z7. And I was really looking for a Mustang, a notchback Mustang Fox body. Mexican Spec had one I really wanted, but the Fox body Mustangs, good ones, are they're worth more money. I just didn't have the money for them. And I had a Fairmont Futura many years ago, and I really liked that car. And so I started looking for a Futura. And JB found this Z7, and I found a bunch of them, but this was the right one because it had some mechanical things it needed, but the body was so good, it was just the right one. Kevin Smith, welding screwed up my eyes. Probably the cheap Harbor Freight helmet. You know what? I have a Harbor Freight helmet, or hood, whatever you want to call it, and something started happening to it. So I bought a high quality new lens for it, which cost quite a bit more than the whole hood did, and I put it in there. And that thing works really well. But yeah, you got to be careful your welding hood. Make sure you got. And that's what happened to that Harbor Freight one. It started bothering my eyes, and I noticed it wasn't darkening as much. And I said, I got to stop this. And so, I bought a lens for it. And you can buy lenses that are different darknesses and everything. When I put that new lens in, it's like, oh man, is this nice? Some kind of a American-made lens for, made by one of the welding companies. I don't remember who made it.
All right, you want me to find your helmet, or does it not say on it?
No, it's in a pack. Came in a package. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We could put a little New England and Boston spin on what Mexican Spec would do. Let's see here. I'll sell it out. Oh, it looks great. 6-cylinder. Yeah, this 6-cylinder. Dean Stevenson keeps wanting me to put a 351 in it, which I don't think I'd do that. If I put anything in, it'd be there's some choices. I got a small block Chevy sitting over there with a turbo 350. And that's, I've done a lot of engine swaps, so I suppose I could do that. 302 Ford, just build a 302 for it, or a 351 Windsor. But I don't know why Dean likes these 351Ms so much. I don't think the heads flow that good on the M, do they? It's not like a Cleveland. And it's so wide, the deck height's so high. I don't know why people like that. Yeah, nice daily driver. And that's what I got it for. Take it to the store, take it to the doctor, Drive it to No Name Nationals. You know, cruise down the highway.
Yep.
Dean Stevenson has some of your 80 T-Birds brown on it. You know, I found the name of the color of this thing. It was like something bronze. I forget what it was. I found it earlier today. I kind of laughed at the name of it. Auto Salvage Outlaw. I'm changing my engine over to Fox Body Mustang. Kevin Smith, 390 better yet. Man, I built a lot of 390s back in the day, but that's a big, heavy engine. Dean Stevenson says Zephyr 7 Bird. Dean Stevenson says Fee-Fi, Fee-Fo-Fi Fine. I like the way you think, Kevin. See, that's what I used to do when I had 57 Fords. I had several 57 Fords. I built 390s, but I bore them 80,000s, put 406 pistons in them. And then it was a 406. It wasn't really a 406, but it was 406 inches. I had one I put tri-power on it, you know, 3 2-barrels. And that was quite an engine. That was a nice setup. Hippie Long, Auto Salvage. I'm going to put a 302 in my 72 Maverick. Yeah, that's pretty much a bolt-in, too. Stevenson, small block Chevy, that thing. Hippie Long, 351M has 400 heads. I had it in my 76 van. Auto Salvage Outlaw, 351M, good engine. You know, they might be good engines, but I don't think it's the right engine for this car. Dean Stevenson says 206 CFM. I guess that's pretty good. Buddy Carfano, supercharged Coyote. Well, yeah, but that's. I'm not made of money. Yeah, 302. I could probably put a 302 together without huge money. That's what I did on my last one. It had a 4-cylinder Pinto engine in it, 2300, and the cross member's the same on the 4-cylinder and the 302. So I built a 302 and automatic. It originally had the Pinto engine and a 4-speed. Then of course I broke the rear end in it, but that 302 and C4 in the Futura, same car as this, man, that was a fun car. Kevin Smith, we just talked about this. I had a weld gun doctor tell me to lay down with potatoes on my eyes. And that's exactly what, there was a muffler shop next door to me. That's the guys always said, you get flashed with the welder, put potatoes on your eyes.
Potatoes? Potatoes? This ain't Dexter Wolverine Garage.
The inline 6 is good, reliable transportation. Yeah, it's 200 cubic inches, which is what, 3.3 liters? And it's fine. It goes down the road fine. I'm not going to win any races unless I'm racing Kim in her 6-cylinder 66 Dart.
Yeah,
but she might beat me anyway.
Yeah, I'll beat you.
We're gonna race at No Name Nationals, I think. Dean Stevenson says for the 4.37 Moldex crank and that 4.060 bore 351M. Well, wait a minute. How many inches is that? That's a lot more than 351. The 351 was 4 by 3, 3.5 inch bore, I think. Yeah, guys are all dreaming about all this stuff.
They want us to be entertainers. What do the entertainers do? They build big fancy engines that other people only dream of. That's what entertainment is. You gotta expect people are gonna at least ask.
Kevin Smith says 390s are bulletproof. There's people that don't like the FE engines because of the oiling, but I never had any problems with that. I always, man, my 390s, which were 406s, pretty nice. Though I always wanted a 428 or a 427. Of course, 427, I can't afford that. But the 428, but I just never had one. But that was back when I had 1957 Ford station wagons, two-door wagons. 57 Ford two-door wagon with a 406-inch FE with the tri-power on it. That was a fun car. The only thing was the air cleaner, has a big oval air cleaner. It would touch the hood opens backwards on the 57 Ford. So that would touch that hood latch right there. So you had to take a little off that back of that air cleaner, but it was still fine. Auto salvage autos, I would put in a 351 Windsor, and it with a set of 351 69 heads and port them, and then front wheels come off the ground. You know what? My 64 Ford Galaxy had a 289 in it, which I pulled out, and I put that's exactly what I put. A 351 Windsor is a 69. It came out of a 69 car, so it was a 69 351 Windsor. And I used, here goes our camera's going nuts. I got to cool this camera off. Maybe it's, I don't know what's going on with that camera. I'm trying to keep the camera from going on max headroom on us.
It's starting to get time.
So anyway, my 64 Ford that thing ran. 64 Ford Galaxy with a 351 in it. It's really unusual. Really unusual engine and body, but that was a running car. Yeah, Bob Good, he made a Fairmont famous. You go with a Boss 9 like that. Auto Salvage Outlaw. Dean is coming to Bama. It's like Alabama to help me build this Fox. Auto Salvage Outlaw. All I can do is dream about it. Dean Stevens said, I didn't turn up last time, Auto Salvage. I'm very unreliable. Kevin Smith, the Dart. I have a Slant 6, another bulletproof engine. Yeah, we have a couple of bodies here. Kim has a 66 Dart that we just built an engine for it, put it in. That was the last project we had in here. And that car came in here with an oil leak, so we're going to fix the oil leak. Ended up being in here for 3 months because we built a whole new engine, ported the head, and put it had a little rust on the frame, so we fixed the frame section, rebuilt the front end, and what the hell else do we do? Oh, we put a rear end in it. I don't know what all we did to it. No, the rear end we put in earlier. So, we changed it from a 3-speed on the column to an automatic. So, an oil leak turned into a 3-month bloat.
But you know what? That
car's pretty nice now. So,
I'm going to be able to drive it this summer quite a bit.
So, and then we have a 72 Plymouth Valiant that we built a slant for, and it's got a 904 in it. It's, automatic. So that'll probably be coming in here pretty soon when this car's done. I don't know. We got a bunch of projects lined up, so I don't know which one's coming in next, but might be that one. What, Kim? You getting tired?
Yeah.
Hey, Dick Dashley just showed up. Good evening.
Yeah, I'm getting real tired.
Dean Stevenson, Yukon Gold potatoes, I bet. Not these. What are those? Sweet potatoes? Patrick Sullivan. I had a 289 and a 65 Mercury Cyclone. It was not a K motor. That damn thing ran great. Yeah, you know, 289. I had a 289 and a 66 Mustang. It was okay. In fact, that was the engine that came out of my 64 Ford. So it was better than the Mustang, but 64 Ford Galaxy with a 289 in it's not a fast car. You know, it's just too much car, not enough engine. And man, a 351 Windsor, that thing came alive. Of course, I built the 351, so it wasn't a stock engine. But it wasn't all that much. It just had a cam that was, the camshaft was, I don't remember what it was. It was supposed to be good between 3,500 and 5,500 RPM. And the intake I got, same thing. And it was just a good running engine. I had at the time, it was before Edelbrock had carburetors, it was the Carter 625 AFB, which is the same thing as, basically the same thing as the Edelbrock carbs now. It was a pretty good running engine. Kevin Smith, my two-door 65 LTD had a 394 barrel, two-speed FMX, very fast car for its size. A two-speed FMX. See, my 64 Ford with the 351, that's what I had, was an FMX, but it was definitely 3 speeds. Danny Boyd has pictures of his mother draped over the hood. Oh yeah, I've heard about that, a 65 352 Galaxy. Okay, let's see. Oh, Buddy Carafano, Chevy 409. Oh, I like 409s. I saw a T-Bucket at a car show in Tucson, Arizona, and it had a, you know what a 348 is? It looks like a 409, except it's smaller deck height. And the name of the car was Faux, like, you know, faux, like fake, Faux 09. But it was a 348. But it was a pretty cool car because that engine had that look, you know. Kim gonna be a dirty biker?
No, I can't really ride motorcycle. My neck and shoulders are too messed up. I bought that motorcycle. I thought I was gonna have fun with it, but I'm gonna make it work real good and sell it to somebody. They'll have a lot of fun, and I can roll that money into some other projects here.
Hippie Long has a question there about No Name Nationals.
He does.
Did you stock tires, or did you use stock tires some? And did you have to worry about blowing your rear ends? Well, I mean, there's cars there that are really fast cars, and there's cars there like us that are racing our 6-cylinders, and then what's his name? Can't think of the channel name. The guy with the big Ford with the 351M in it. He came here. What's his name?
Rick from RC
RC Industries. Yeah, his car wasn't fast. Then he raced it. It's just
my car doesn't have enough
stock
power
tires.
To blow out the rear end.
Stock tires. Well, and we put a different rear end in her car.
My car has a Ford 7.5 instead of a Chrysler 7 1/4.
Well,
we didn't even get to run it down the track because it was leaking too much oil.
Yeah, it had an oil leak. Yeah, faux, that kind of faux Patrick Sullivan. So, yeah, I mean, it just depends on what you're running. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people ran stock tires, and the people with the serious cars, you know, they had drag radials or slicks. Yeah, I don't know that much about.
The place to ask questions and learn about the event is on John Wilburn's Live on Friday nights.
Yeah, Friday night. Well, there's two places. Friday night. Yeah, that's probably the best one. Friday night, John Wilburn comes on at 7 Central, 8 o'clock, Eastern time, and he's the one that really promotes that. And then Dallas Brown, who's president of the AHRA, and Shane Polito, who's an engineer at Edelbrock, they have a show, live show at 7 o'clock on Wednesday nights. And theirs is mostly geared toward technical stuff. So you could ask there too.
Hippie Long, if you have a 273 4-speed with a 7 1/4 posi, the 7 1/4 posi is considerably stronger than a regular 7 1/4 because the spider gears are reinforced by the pause attraction unit, and it is the spider gears that are the really, really weak point of the 7 1/4. A 273, unless it's a super hopped up 273, you probably will not easily hurt that rear end. But some of it is how you try and launch the car and what kind of tires you're using.
And it is the track is treated. It's like racing on glue.
But a 7 1/4 posi is not that weak because the posi makes it way stronger than a regular 7 1/4. And a 273 is not like a super high horsepower engine. So
Patrick Sullivan says,
and you don't have to drive it hard is the other thing. You can just go. You don't have to beat it.
Patrick Sullivan says, I was trying to think of the smaller 409 lookalike. It was a 348. So pretty sure it was a truck engine. I think they did use them in some trucks, but it was really a performance engine that came out. Man, I wish 38 Racing was here because he's the expert on 59 Chevys and 60 Chevys and all those. And I think he has some of those engines.
Yep, he'd be who you want to ask.
He's a guy that's got a fleet of 59 Chevys. Although the one he normally drives to No Name Nationals has he's got a 454 in it. He's got a big block Chevy in it. I think it's a 454. And yeah, that's a pretty nice car. He's had that car since he was 16, I think. Or maybe his family had it before he was 16. And he's still got it. Auto Salvage Outlaw says he's got to go. Get up tomorrow and get this SUV cleaned out, get battery in it, get it sold where I can buy a new truck. Okay, well, thanks for being here and hope you feel better. Hope you really do. Hope you're doing better. And take care. You know what we're going to do?
Yeah.
We're going to wrap this up.
I think we need to.
Okay, Kim.
Tomorrow night, we are live at 7 p.m. Central in the studio with the green screen. And that's a lot of fun. So I hope that anyone, if you have some time, plan to stop in. We're usually live for about 2-3 hours. Stop in for the whole time or part of the time, say hello, and enjoy some of our conversation. We had a lot of fun there. You guys have been a good audience tonight. Lots of good comments and conversation. So we appreciate it.
I'll close up my cough drops. Okay.
We're going to get some rest. You guys have a great night.
We're going to stop this before the ads get here in 22 seconds. Good night, everybody.